These are the champions of the world, and these are the world champions. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round three solo classics. I am the biggest of all dogs, joined by our sound director, Emma Tiet and Sean Cole. Welcome, Sean. Good evening.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to commentate for the first time.
It's really, really good to have you. We've done some good work in the past. Happy to have you here in the booth with us tonight. You come from a successful 200 TT, so close to a medal, fourth place. I hope you are having or considering your performance so far as a great world championship.
It's a huge
And
improvement over last year.
all right, and today we go into classics round three. As I said, let's go into the parkours mail and send them here as well, so I can actually see what I'm looking at or the commentators channel or something. Because I'm on the phone, try and streamline all in one place. Okay, so quickly checking stream. I assume it already has the parkour slides. We will have three stages. Thank you. We'll have three stages, and here they are. So we have some cobbles in the first one. Then we have a interesting version of Lombardia, and then we have a stage 195.7 kilometers with some windy sections, some board sections. Sean, what do you think about the parkours?
It's nice that we've got something for everyone in this set. I think Dwar's Store is probably going to be a sprint fest for some of these groups, but I'm really excited to see what folks do on that second stage, especially if they decide to use the early climbs.
All right, and speaking of our participants, we have here we go for groups round three, and the groups as scheduled. Uh, I don't know if any reseeding happened, but what we had scheduled was Group A: Alder Snake, former world champion Joe Whiteley, Tuanu Mendez, and Tim. Group B: Group P, which is actually the center court for our evening. We have Pompon from France, Leo Falandri as well from France, then Mike, the Russian, then Miko. Basso, one of the biggest favorites of the night, former world champion and very average player, Ghosty, and Copy from France. Then we have Group C, Daniel Miko, Andrew Walker, a whole lot of Fons Maker, Hashoga. Group D has Barda Janus Swaxon, former world champion George Sofronio, Ben Young, and Il Grandissimo Fravo, former three times finalists, but not world champion, sadly for him. He will still have chances. Sean, when we look at Group B, we have uh, theoretically the biggest favorites in current world champion Leo Falandri. Basso, despite never being a world champion, won some silvers, still has expectations being considered one of the greatest current PCM players. Who would you be your three favorites or four favorites, I think, to pass here today?
Oh, four favorites to pass today. I think Leo and Basso are gonna go through no matter what. As we see Leo get a first attack here in. Um,
Wait, sorry to interrupt you. I'll ask you the rest. Emma, is it four or is it three at this point? Kalmik playing instead of Afonso, so it's the only reason. Okay, three pass. So with that information now confirmed, Sean, three favorites to pass.
I mean, it's tough to go after to not root for the big names here. I think not seeing Ghosty, Basso, and Leo in the semis would be a shame. Um, it's possible that I haven't seen Pom Pom play myself, but you win your group and you come pot one means you've got a decent shot here. I think Dan Mike's probably the least likely to get through, and we'll see what Copy does, especially in the mountains.
If I had to bet, I would bet money on Leo Laundry. So uh, although he is not one would be considered with because some expectations on the name and the big question is, can he endure and qualify? Sean,
Sean, your audio didn't
Sean?
not come through.
I'm saying that if I had to bet my money, I would bet on Leo, Basel, and your or leave that my host. He's the former world champion. He says the news of this true power. Uh, Longer than be seen as a for he still has expectations that the can be heard. Sorry, I think I'm back.
There we go. You are back indeed, and
Uh,
understandable
I,
now.
I was asking you, yeah, I was asking you because, as you said, the three big favorites for this group would normally be Leo, Basso, and Ghosty. If I was a betting man, which I am, I would have personally betted on Leo, Basso, maybe someone else, maybe Copy, for example, or even a surprise with Dan Mike. But, because Ghosty, although a former world champion, I think 10 years ago, is no longer, I would say, one of the favorites to win a world title at all. Still a good road player, still has the expectations of being one of the top two favorites here, but can he endure the expectations, though?
I think that in a group with such big favorites with him, it benefits him a little bit. Um, not that he would get targeted, but I think people view him still as one of those top 10 players to look out for, and so I think here he's not going to get marked in the same way. But we'll see. As Dan Mike seems to just pace the peloton at the start of
Of course he is.
this stage. Of course he is, right? Like of course he is. We're saying what we already knew, without the pictures, but
All right, and speaking of picture, our stage is already underway. And let me just set here my screen. There we go. Like, so, uh, stage one, as I said before, we'll have some cobbles here. Should be an interesting one. Right now we have Copy. Not sure what he's doing at the front. Very strange positioning if he's not going to actually attack. I see the world champion jersey. That would be Leo Falandre. I see Ghosty in here as well.
and
Awesome. And we have a
this is
movement.
Leo's fourth or fifth attack. Um, he seems very keen to be off the front of the peloton.
I remember I was with Leo on round one. It was him, myself, Alder, and Josep Pereira that ended up passing, but it wasn't as easy as people would expect. We had a very hard fought battle. Only three of us won a stage each. Josep Pereira, the most decorated player in World Cup history with over 100 medals, did not actually win one. So classics are always that. There's a level of randomness to them. So anything can always happen in PCM, but I think here even more. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Um, with these sorts of groups and two of the best in the world, I think they're either going to dominate or
Mm-hmm.
it's
Didn't
going to
hear
be a
that. Sorry.
mess. I
Yeah.
said they're either going to dominate or it's going to be an absolute mess. Um,
Yeah, and
I'm kind of rooting for the mess.
we do like some of the messes, yeah, because they're usually fun and hard to predict. Joining us are Finn and George. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So, are you guys hyped? And what's your predictions for the top three spots that guarantee the qualification?
Me.
You're playing. Good for you.
Yes.
Finn, I assume you are not playing.
No, I'm not. I came to commentate. I don't know what George is doing here, but
I
for the
have no
group,
idea.
but for center court, I would predict probably Leo and Barso. I think that's a pretty obvious choice. Uh, I think it's hard to say for the third spot. Just by the names, I think every one of us would assume Ghosty, but it's Road, and we have some underdogs in here. Pom Pom won his group in round two. We have I don't know who's the last one. It's Copy,
Then
right?
Mike
Yeah,
and
I know. I
copy.
mean,
Yes.
then
Ah,
Mike
copy.
was in my
Yes,
head.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Copy,
Copy.
copy.
Yeah, Copy. OP player in ITT. Let's see what he can do here. Yeah, I'm like Leo and Basso and then an open race. But in the end, it's also classic. So maybe we see then Mike, Copy, and Pom Pom passing.
Yeah, I remember that a few minutes ago when we were doing our predictions. Sean said Leo Basso and Ghosty. I said Leo Basso and someone else other than Ghosty because classics are unpredictable. Even Ghosty being the third name, you would obviously look at that and say, yeah, he should go through. But Pompom had a great former round. First round, I think it was, or second. Actually, this is the third, sorry. A great second round, won his group. Copy, although as you mentioned, a time trial specialist could surprise, and even then, Mike that has played some games on the regular season. This is the beauty of classics. Anything can happen.
Yeah, but I need to say that I disagree a little bit with you. I think with it being classics, Ghosty's chance to pass rises a bit more, just due to the fact that I think he's a bit better in the sprints and the cobble stages of the game than in the mountain stages.
That's a
And
good point.
we do have Lombardia in this parkour, but we also do have like a cobble stage and this little hilly stage in the end. But yeah, there's
Well,
think
we all
just by
see it.
the skill, Ghosty may be a bit more favorite in classics than in tour or inline, but yeah.
I do agree. Actually, I can totally agree with that. Right now, we have Pom with you guys at the front, and Boss has one there or had one there. He's chopping it,
Yeah.
and it's Leo Flavio arriving with three other riders. So it's establishing itself. I see Basso trying to recover. He will have four riders in the break when these groups merge, and the Ghost Man has three. So for with its copy, so for them, Mike and Pompon not having guys in this break is a no-go, so they should definitely start doing some movement. Let's see if that is the case, or if they will pace as less experienced players that they are. Basso actually trying to bridge with an attack and succeeds.
Maybe it would be interesting to see who has which riders in the break. Is it three for everybody?
It's three
Basso
for
has
everyone
four, I
except
think.
Basso. Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
So Ghosty three, Pom Pom
And
three, Leo with
yeah,
three, Basso with four. What?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
Basso with four. Copy and then Mike needs to get a move here. They're on a delicate situation of having men on the break. I'm gonna show us the peloton. Let's see who's pacing. Then Mike with a six-man train and Copy as well. I see 77 sprints for Basso. I assume they're all gonna be there for those that are in the break. Oh, there's an 82 for Basso actually as well. There's the couples guy from Man Ghost. He has his or one of his
Ghosty, Basso, and Leo with the couple guy in the front, right? Yeah,
uh,
this
Ghost
can get
and Bias.
interesting.
Not sure about that, but that's the leader for the race in tiers. That's a great match.
Especially if the race gets really hard. Basso pressing on hard in the front.
And as we know, in these movements, Basso can be dangerous if given some time.
Also for Denmark and Copy, it's a hard situation. I don't think they have anybody at front.
They
Uh,
don't play.
and it's just a minute now. If they don't get an organized pacing here, I think it can already be pretty hard for this stage.
Oh, and Kopi's dropped the
Puppy's
cobble
dropped
guy
the
off the
leader.
peloton.
Oof, that is even worse right now. He's in a delicate situation.
Who's the
Really
other one?
delicate now. Denmark is in the peloton. Still with a six-man train. Well, now five, because one is was dying. Who's with Seneschal, Mea? So, good question that we didn't see answered. 78. Sorry, it's 77 mountain guy with the 80 cobbles guy. That's a weird choice to bring here. But now everyone is almost back together. Only Copy at the front and two riders. No, one rider from Ghosty and one from Basel. Ghosty isn't gonna bother that much with Sally.
Yeah,
81
he
flat back.
shouldn't. We do have Pom Pom on a good movement here though. If he gets a gap, which riders is he in front with Pom Pom? Yeah, it's just a,
76.
yeah, but he won't win. It's just the casual break riders. Yeah, but there's Leo going with
with the
a
cobble guy.
couple, but also with the hill guy. I think hill guy can be
I
nearly
think
as
that's
good.
definitely, yeah, definitely one of the contenders.
I think it's not sure between Kabla and Hilga here, because we do have a lot of hills also without cobbles, and knowing the game, that means if you go 95, I think, or more, it's literally only hill set, and I think especially in the end there can be a lot of 95 climbs here. So yeah, hill set can matter a lot.
Wolvenberg at 16 meters of altitude with 7.5% average. And there they go. Now the Hooverstraat. This one is lighter, but there have been already a 5-star section at the start of the race. But Leo is still in no man's land. He still needs to close that small gap to the break. I hear you now. All right, we're gonna, since this is column currently here, we're gonna go to group A. Which stream is that, MS? Send me the link. You know how it works.
It's the Joe stream of Joe Whiteley.
Ah, the Joe stream.
I already just opened the group, so while the big dog is
All right,
opening the
talk to
stream,
us.
I may introduce you to the situation. We have a pretty close peloton here. 88 kilometers to go, so a bit further than our center court. We have one rider up front. I think it's from Mendes, but it's a solo attack, so I don't think it will work, as it's also only a 20-second gap. Tim is pacing, and yeah, it's 32 rider peloton. Everyone's still there with like at least 4 riders, I think. Pretty unattractive race so far, I would say. Let's see if it explodes
We're
later
gonna
on.
move to Hushy's group, Group C. There we go. Uh,
So we are in Hush group now?
yeah, there is
I can also
Right.
do the same introduction just here. We have a splitted peloton. Hush being behind with 5 riders. One just attacked away, but he was behind with 6 riders, so he's in a pretty
It's
fat
riders, yeah.
position. Uh, Behind him, also one rider of Agap, and I think Komik with also at least 4 riders, maybe even more. I can't see it right now on the stream. And yeah, then we have a peloton of
Hush.
19 riders in front with Kingmaker riders, Agap riders, and I didn't see more so far. But yeah, interesting race situation here as Hush needs to get back to skills to still score even points in this stage.
Hush already saying nice.
I think he got like a train bug or something. Sucks for him, but I mean, looks like he will get back, to be honest. Gotta make some
Right.
sacrifices for it, but should get back.
Emea, why would we go back if I never called a move to D? Why are you doing such things, Emea? Explain to me.
Yeah. Also,
Well, and
if
Group D has not started.
yeah, exactly.
After George has not been able to log into the game. So it looks like
Bagels is back.
Tails is
Yeah.
joining us. Although I see Tails is will be riding with Tunisia for
Yeah, Ibra nearly was
stage
in, but
one.
then Tails appeared and then Ibra was out again.
Right, we go back to our center court Group B and see how things are unfolding there.
Yeah, nothing really changed. Now we
There
have
is a
again
break
a
now.
16 man break, but it's basically the same one as before. Just the fact that Pom Pom has 5 riders now in here is different to what we have seen before.
Interesting. So he
And
has
Dan
We
Mike is still with no one.
yeah, exactly. We again have then Mike and Copy fucked behind. So yeah, Ghosty is now trying to bridge with his other 3 riders, I think.
Yes, he is. And for it starts to show the inexperience from Ben Mike and Copy that instead of having a fast response this second time around to try and join, they still wanted a peloton race. It seems.
Yeah, but it's a bit like bar wasting. If Dan
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
always tries to close the attacks, but if you have 16 man up front, you won't win it with just closing it. You gotta follow at least a little bit, put one of the 2 possible leaders maybe in there, like.
Yeah, and these short gaps he could have tried to close before the narrow cobble section, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Sent 2 or 3 guys, something like that. I
Also,
think
also,
the
also
leg
just
victory.
just a little 99 up this hill and you close it. Now they got
Yes,
lucky that
yes.
they stopped in the front, but yeah.
And Shibok from Basel, the 81 flat guy, and from Kopi, probably the same, are left ahead, one less long. From Pompo, not Copy, sorry. Copy is here. But we only have 70 kilometers to go and no break. Some people already dropped a couple of helpers from what I see, so uh, the Valkenburg is in 2 kilometers. Let's see if anyone decides to go there.
I mean,
And
the hardest cover section are still up. We again have a Quadamont
Yeah,
and a Patterberg, I think. Then some small ones, and then the the last uphill, and then the usual draws finish.
Pompo is being very aggressive since the start, and he's taking the front of the Valkenburg
I mean,
and actually trying to work pace.
given the fact that his hill guy or his cobbler should survive it anyway, given the slow race we had so far, it's not that bad to spend the energy of the helpers here.
Indeed.
and knowing
Let's
that
see.
Dan Mike is going to be behind, Pompon should be trying to get off front because they know that there will be 2 teams who don't even try to make the break.
And
Now
there
we have
goes
Leo
Leo
going,
Falandri.
Leo going.
He has a 77 sprinter. He has Kwiatkowski, and I don't know who the other one is. Vanderpool, the leader again, or the
Ghosty
oh,
also going,
potential leader.
but then Mike is on maintain for sure. Looking at how his rider is going, will Ghost now Ghosty got a gap, so now then Mike doesn't have any advantage of being in the front of the peloton again. There, Ghosty drops back
Maintain
one
position.
rider,
Maintain position, also known as the weapon of the noobs.
but Basso's pacing. Basso can't let Ghosty and Leo go, which is right.
and you don't see one other than the one that is facing Shivok, one single rider from Basso at the front, so he is protecting them currently
I
from the
think it
wind.
was a really, really good move by Leo.
And six-man train attack from Pompon, or five actually. Five, yes, from Pompon.
And it looks like Basso's losing his first rider off the back there. But I think he's the last person to have lost that rider, and it's nice to see a breakaway here since none of our groups that are entering the final have anything
We might not see
off
one
the
for too
front.
long though, because Pompon is just closing it, or was with five men. Let's see, now it's Basso pacing again. Guys, round three is considered by most of us have already been through this several times. Uh, the last one of the hard rounds when it comes to lobby composition, where you still see some guys with less experience that made it this far, but there are still some chances of some confusing gameplay. This can also change the outcome of the race for some of our more experienced players.
But it's the first time we have actually lobbies where also every player knows how to play. Like it's not every lobby, as you said. You also still have the ones not
I'll have to
experienced.
disagree. I'll have to disagree that everyone knows how to play here.
Well, not everyone knows how to play like Leo or Basso does, but I think it still can't be
Yeah,
compared
yeah,
to
no, I get
one
what
lobby.
I get what you mean, but I still think that it's playing this year. It's still that final border this round between the awesome playing that we might have in semis and finals and so on,
Yes, yeah, that
and
is true.
Basso now
Basso,
for
yeah.
riders and Ghosty trying to
I mean,
well on his
Ghosty knows as he is the third bigger name in this group. I would say, even if he can't be compared to Leo or Basso and Road, that if Basso and Leo are going, he just can't be sitting up. He knows it because then, like,
I
there will
think
be
I
yeah,
think Ghosty, being the experienced player, doesn't have that fear that apparently during the regular season some people have. That is, when Basso goes, oh, there's no point in following because it's Basso and he wins. He wins if no one follows, obviously.
Absolutely.
And Ghosty, as experienced as he is, and is former world champion as well, as I said, uh, knows that a good response can be a very, very good weapon as well. Leo Falandri down to Cobble Guy and Helper with 76 cobbles. Up
And
the
this should be a
par.
four-star Quaramont. Um,
yeah.
It is.
Leo is solo now, and I think it can be hard to win this point. But also, we are entering the only like the basically only cobble up and down now, so it's fine to be reduced to 1-2 riders. Let's see how Basso is playing it. He's also going now.
Okay, so the sprint has been moved 1 kilometer further to have the sprint in the flat and not downhill. Interesting from Mr. Bright, so that should add some spice to it.
looking at Group A, they're entering their final 20 kilometers here. They are still in a group of 18,
Yeah,
which I think we'll continue to see with Joe leading the pack. Unclear exactly who has um,
And
how many, but I'm
taking
thinking probably three.
taking that tip from Sean Emma, we will move there because 20 means it will finish before this one, and we will see the proceedings of the final kilometers in Group A, Joe Whiteley's group. Call it, Sean. You were saying there's 18 riders?
We've got 18 riders. Joe is trying to push the pace here on the Tyenberg. Tim is really struggling at the back, so it looks like they're going to drop there. Joe and Snake appear to be in the best positions. Um, Tuanu
El
still has
Colombiano.
three. Oh, that's El Colombiano, yes. And Mendez uh, still well
Tim?
positioned as well.
But
I
Tim
think
looks to
that's
be in
Tim.
trouble.
it's Toino, not El Colombiano. Toino play with Ecuador.
Okay.
Ah, okay, okay,
So it's
okay.
I know Alda and Toino
Alder.
with Ecuador. Alda and Toino with Ecuador, I think. But I don't know where Toino is. He asked for
It's
Ecuador.
Twanu actually. I remember giving the group's info. It's Twanu indeed. There's
Now
an
we have
attack
an
there
attack.
right now.
Attack.
Got an attack.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Snake on the wheel. Joe didn't got to follow. This can be interesting. Tim is closing it.
Tim is
And
closing it.
Alder's
Joe,
still
it's
with 4.
So we
Twanu.
still have one couple section left entering it just now. All back
Is it
together.
Alder or is it Twanu? I think it's
It's
Twanu,
Alder.
right?
It's
Oh, it's
Alder,
Alder.
and I think Toino is France 1. He didn't get Ecuador, I think.
Ah, okay.
But Toino is struggling a bit. He's dropped right now.
Yeah, he's trying
Didn't
to
get back. And
re-enter.
Tim is going. Tim is going. With two
Now Joe
riders.
is on the follow it. Yes.
Yes. Didn't get
And
away. Alda's just there. It's still one group. Also in the our center court, we are back at a 13-man peloton, by the way.
How are we with CND? Check the
C is
kilometers left.
at 25 kilometers, so we'll finish after our center court, and D is 155 kilometers.
Yeah, D is the situation that we know, so we will check center court and then see after this. But right
12
now,
kilometers to
a
go.
little bit of
Snake is the
downhill.
only one alone.
Yes, true. We have a lead up by Alder.
Joe out in the middle, Tim on the left. Mendes is a bit stuck
Snake
there,
is
but
blocked. Snake is
accelerating.
blocked.
Oh,
But Snake is
Joe
having
Whiteley
good
is gonna launch
position.
Steve Cummings, but he might not. He
Snake with good
has. He
speed.
might.
It's gonna
It's
be Mendes.
Joe Whiteley. Oh, Mendes! Mendes
Mendes
gets the
going.
win. Second for Joe Whiteley. The third is
Snake.
Snake. Okay, and the fourth is Twanu. Alder only fifth, and Tim in the mud sixth place. We go to Group B.
Yes. 10 kilometers left here. Dan Mike on the move. Dan Mike on the move.
So did I hear that
Uh,
right?
Dan
I
Mike
would
just
pretend to be shocked.
attacked into the last cover section, going with two riders now. Leo is alone, while Pom Pom has 3, Ghosty has 3,
No,
Copy has
Leo still has Alaphilippe actually with
no,
Vanderpool.
it's Copy's Alaphilippe. Oh
Oh,
no, there he is. There's two Alaphilippes. Sorry.
no, he has
Yes.
Alaphilippe. Oh yes, there's two.
Dan Mike caught again.
And Pom Pom with the
Check.
77 sprinter over the top of the final climb.
This is pretty interesting, but it will
As the
all
most
sprint just here.
Copy still has three riders. Pompo, sorry, still has three
Yeah,
riders by the way.
but Copy is attacking.
Copy trying to go. Gonna be
But I
closed by
think
Basso and
he should have either attacked harder or not do it because this was a useless car.
yeah, especially when the
See
sprint is about to
Leo
come.
Basso moving not to the front. Ghosty on the
Oh, Leo
left.
is alone now. Leo is alone now. He needs to get a wheel. Oh, he might recover the. He's gonna get it. He has it on the wheel.
He got Basso wheel. Pom Pom going
Got
for the lead
Basso
out.
wheel.
Ghosty coming on the left.
Pompo has two riders and
It's
he's
gonna
going at
be
the
Yeah,
a
right time.
this is
block.
gonna be for Pom Pom. This is gonna
He
be for
needs
what?
to win
Oh,
this
he
with the gap
died.
he had.
No, it's for Pom Pom. It's for
Oh,
Pom Pom.
it's Pompo, but Basso is gonna take second and Leo Foundry might take third. He's gonna take it. Yes.
Yes.
Coffee is gonna be fourth. Ghosty only fifth,
Ghosty.
and then Mike is in the mud, sixth place. Group
Heading
C.
to
Swing.
Group C.
Yeah, it's
Hush
swinging.
was out front and is now up front alone with Bargy with 8K to go. He's got 15 seconds on the rest, but that group is still 13 strong. So I think they're going to bring him back. I'm not sure who. That might be Andrew Walker. Trying
It
to
is.
bring him
You're
back on the
correct.
front of the peloton for
But it's
the
22
Russian team.
seconds. This is really interesting. But now they're pushing hard. Still 20 seconds though. I think if he reaches the downhill, he wins.
And Hush still has someone in the group, I think.
Nah,
Maybe not. This might be his only chance here.
I think he has it. 25 seconds going into the downhill. Let's see though. If the others
It's
start
not a
the
bad
sprint,
move,
it may
but
get
yeah,
interesting because he shouldn't have much red bar.
yeah, he's really, really close to the limit now, and
Yeah, now
he's
we have
gonna
the
not
Oh,
sprint
make
and
and
it.
here they come
that's it.
with the
Yeah,
world champion
he
team.
That's Daniel Miko. Daniel Miko.
Miko.
Miko with a 1-2,
Miko,
I think.
Andrew
No.
Walker is going to be
1-3.
oh,
And
second.
Kalmick coming in fourth,
Kalmik is
the
yeah.
third best player. After he was dropped early in the stage and they let him come back, his entire team was off the back and they didn't worry about him. So would be fascinating to see him go through.
Yeah.
Well, he's currently third place in the group with Miko doing the 1-3, Kalmik, and then Agap, then I think Ashi maybe, not sure. Um, am I forgetting some? I don't know who Friends Tree is as well. So interesting situation. Daniel Miko getting these 100 points. I mean, almost qualification. Only three passed, so there's still a chance things can change. But now Miko with this win enters in management mode, where he can only uh, worry about controlling, getting podiums in the last two is more than enough, and just keeping an eye on his opponents, as I did, for example, in round one, where after winning the first one, I was in full management mode.
Okay, guys, we are now moving to Group D after seeing other groups finish. We just got the first couple section there. It's a
Oh,
33-man peloton.
D
Uh,
is Frabo, right?
yeah, exactly.
It
We have a
is
33-man peloton just here. It's still start of the race, basically, just having the first couple section down. While other groups are starting the lobbies, we will stay here a little bit, but the race is not too interesting for now.
All right. We are indeed 118.3 kilometers to go. Trying to see the comes this group. We have Frabo, we have Andrew Wall, no, maybe.
Should be Swaxon, maybe.
Right?
Is it Swaxon in this group?
It is,
Yeah,
actually.
it's Swaxon.
Okay. And everyone's still together, not too many moves. If there were, they weren't successful at all in creating a break. There we go. Swexit is there indeed, but I still don't know who the Russian guy is. Probably Goga. Let's see. So no big shockers so far, but Kalmik managing to get a top three is very good for a top three. In this case, a group top three, a top four on the race. It doesn't guarantee nothing, not even close, because it's just a fourth place, but it gets him ahead of three other competitors so far.
By the way, it's not a Russian, but a Tunisian jersey, and it's
Oh, it's
because
Zebra.
no, it's not Ibra.
Oh,
It's Tails. It's Tails because it wasn't sure who's the reserve entering as George just went out last minute, and then Ibra's jersey was
all right.
already put, but Tails appeared.
We have standings for groups A and B. Group A, it is Mendez with 100 points, Joe with 70, Snake with 50, Tuan with 35 and 4th, Alder 5th 25, and Tim 6th 18. I look at Group A and I see, given maybe I would put Joe in first in my predictions, I see everyone else where I would put them give or take. Group B, we have Pom Pom leading 100 points. That's the big shocker of the night, actually, but not much after he was convincing in his group. In round two, we have Basel second, 70 points. Third, Leo Falandri, 50. Fourth, Copy, 35. Fifth, Ghosty, 25. Then Mike, sixth, 18 points. And in the mud. So we still haven't launched in our center court. Don't know what's that about. How group going, guys?
Huh? Which group?
D going, I'm looking at the scores.
The group D is just casually playing. It's still 33-man peloton. No one dropped still since last update, but yeah,
All right.
nothing interesting yet. I think it will have the same outcome as the other three groups. Also, little reduced sprint.
We stay there for a couple more minutes until center court is launched. I currently have a small screen showing me the center court launch, but for now we stay here in D.
A has launched, heading into our second stage here. There is a group of 6 off the front with Mendez and I think Snake, but unclear based on the jersey. Might be Tim, since we're focusing on Joe's riders here at the start of the stage. They have not started the first climb.
Looking at
The
the
second
composition, should be Snake though, because there are a lot of Tim riders in the totem.
the second stage is going to be a long one, 257.5 kilometers. So we will have actually time to see the finish of stage 1 for Group D that has been delayed.
Also, I gotta say, it will probably be the most interesting stage. Of course, it depends how groups play out, but it gives a lot of room for attacks.
All right. If one of you could keep your eyes on Group D, so we know when it's about to end, and we're going to start here on the center court.
Absolutely.
So we have everyone now trying to fix their riders, and they don't have much time because there is going to be a climb. Oh, we have an indication here. Okay, we stay in D 2 more minutes. Okay. So let me go check D. Since for 2 minutes to resolve Emma's bladder issues, we go back to Group D.
It is same old, same. Oh, as I say that, Swagson is attacking off the front with 3. Frabo trying to join with 2. With 80Ks to go here. They don't have much. The second that Frabo joined, Swagson stopped his attack. And we see, again, I'm struggling with these teams here. A French with 5 in a row. I think it's Barna. Who might even be 6-man training.
Three riders still 6 kilometers to go. And Haguk is about to start. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that well, nor could I care less. 3 stars. Levered, and there's an attempt of an attack now by Swaxon. Did you say was in the Tunisian jersey?
That is
Guys?
Tails.
Tails again. Tails is Belgian, if I recall correctly, right? I think so. Or French, something like that.
Thought he was Spanish.
Oh, okay.
But I think that may just be me combining him with someone who should not be named.
Okay. Frabo at the front. This race is currently so boring. Valkenburg is underway. Bravo finally going with Nizzolo and Bettiol.
And this is the biggest gap that we've seen really anyone get in stage for this group. I don't think it's going to work for very long. But it looks like Tails is also barely holding on to the back of the peloton with the 6-man train.
All right, we go back to our center court to see what takes up now and there. All right. I'm having some issues here. How's center court going, Sean?
So, in center core, we've got a group of 9 up front, 3 from Pon, 3 from Basso, and from Ghosty. Unclear exactly who has who. And then Leo is trying to bridge with 4. The first group's got a minute on the chase, and about another minute, 45 seconds ish, to a full peloton. And we see an attack from the rest of 2 others of Basso's riders. And Kopi is pacing with 1 in the middle of nowhere. Unclear
Almighty
what the plan
Sormano
is, but
is a 12.6 kilometer climb, 6.9 average, 6.9% average at over 1 kilometer of altitude. And as you said as well, Ghosty is currently one of those in the front end. He's leading the group of E1. 45 seconds, not necessarily a big gap. I see he has the 75 mountain as first rider, so maybe he has a 77 there, Emma, if we could see. Yes, he does. Interesting. I
and
don't know
really interesting
who.
that Pon dropped both of his domestiques at the same time there. I have to imagine that's purposeful. Wasn't paying attention to the back of the group, but he went from 3 to 1 very quickly.
And I wonder why. I wonder if he lost helpers on the peloton or someone did a move he needed to catch up and probably needed extra. I don't know.
There are 3
Oh, yeah.
off the back.
He's got his leader dropped, so that explains him possibly dropping someone to help. KOM indeed, Emma. KOM. Which I did not see who won because there is no actual KOM, but it's always a good sound alert for us to remember the great Daniel Miko. Well, not that great. But, what now?
Um, Looking at Group D here on stage 1, they've got 40 kilometers to go, and some attacks off the front of the peloton. We've got 2 from
Let me just
Tails.
briefly
It's 2
interrupt
from
there
Varna.
to say. Let me interrupt you there just real quick to say Group C standings after stage 1, Daniel Miko leading 110 points, Andrew Walker second 70, Cal Victor 50, 35 goes to Yoga in 4, King Fish 25, Harshinamad 18. Situation on Group D, Sean?
Yanu has dropped 4 of his riders off the back of the peloton, and Barna is out the front with 25 seconds, heading into the Quarmont. Yanu should catch up, but he's going to have to spend a lot of energy here unnecessarily.
And there is only 35 kilometers to go, so we are going to move to Group D actually, AML, to watch the end of the stage.
So we have to Group D, right?
Yes.
I was like gone for 5 minutes, so gotta head up where we are right now. So
Calmic and Copy in the qualification spots is 2 of the biggest surprises at the moment, but there's still 2 more races to go.
yeah, I mean qualification spots will get interesting after third race, of course, because then it's final, and after second race, because then it might affect third race. But I think right now it's just
And it's just a early in, everything can still happen. And Bravo now dropped here.
oh, is he dropped there?
Swagston, yeah, I think it was Swagston closing it. So this.
Oh,
Well positioning to go into the Paterberg.
Bravo blocked
Ooh.
at Paterberg. And we do have splits here. We do have splits here. I think at least Gunner is
There will
Bravo.
be,
Which rider is
Yeah.
Betjol? Is the question. Now Betjol
I
is
think
he's
that
the
Joel
Cobble rider,
is that is terrible for Bravo at the moment, but he still has a
but
bunch of.
they are back. Ben Yong has 4, trying to do some quick counts here. Swags him with 4. Only 3 for Tails. And there should be 3 for someone else, but I'm missing
Um, it's the French rider,
3 for Barna.
Barnett. Okay. Koppenberg. We are in the Koppenberg 5-star section. 4 It's Ben
And
Young at the front.
Swaxon attacks
Oh, Swaxon.
with
We have who's at the we can move. I just thought it's in air, but we can move. It's Swag. Is it Swag? No, it's
Uh,
Ben Young. It's Ben Young.
it,
The three riders, right?
ben Young at the attack,
yes, it
and
is.
yes, it is.
I mean, it's
British, right? Or is
20, 20 kilometers still, and it's just 20 seconds. But if he gets a gap now, can be good.
it's an important place if you maintain a after these cobbles, these last two cobble sections remaining, it could be a winning move.
Yeah. Also,
26
the gap
seconds,
is
gap is stable.
increasing, but on this couple section, I think they will close it because the catch-up effect is pretty big.
Yeah.
And we have an
Uh,
attack of who's France 2?
That's Barna.
Kingmaker. No, Kingmaker, I think is France 2.
Kingmaker see its partner.
Frabo pacing the reduced peloton. I think it's the most
Yeah, no.
split up group so far.
I mean, there's actual movement, and the Benyang attack has the divide imploded the entire
Ben
race.
Young once again went with one rider this time. And Frabo
And
is
now
going to the
Swaxon
front.
playing catch up. Ooh, Frabo's gonna move. He's just going
I
to.
think he's just pacing back the one rider, to be honest. But let's
He
see.
has three riders, Swaxon as
Two
well.
kilometers to the
Benyang.
last section.
The Kreisberg will be decisive for the race. It is at a very high speed and only 15 riders. Let's see who survives here.
Okay, now we have a move by Frabo and also by Kingmaker. Ben Young still going pretty good.
Pretty sure it's Barn, not Kingmaker. I think Barn
I
is Kingmaker is in C.
let me check.
Yep, there we go. Barna.
Yeah, it is Barn.
Bravo looking to
Yeah, Nu still has three riders as well, so
follow Barna
he
here.
has
Swagton, the only one left with three,
Yeah.
no.
which should
Yanu as
mean with a
well.
group of 12 that somebody's alone.
Yanu also has three riders, and
Did somebody
Frabo
fully
is going
drop?
to go.
Yanu going.
That mean,
Yeah, it will be just a sprint again in the end.
yep.
Yep, and Frabo needs to get for more low level position, or he's wasting Grab seems to have gotten it
Swaxton
now.
with a
But
good lead out. Swaxton with a good lead out.
he has
Now we
good positioning.
see
Yanu coming
Bravo!
from the left.
It's
Yanu.
Janu,
Yanu might be
bravo.
late. Yeah, it's gonna be Yanu, Frabo, and Swaxon then. And the fourth place is gonna be for Ben Young, the fifth Yanu as well. Then Swaxon. Barna is
And we
only like
see our
seven.
first 0 point scorer in a stage so far
Four.
for Tails.
Yeah.
Okay, we go back to the center court.
Yeah, and here we have a casual breakaway. Two riders of Bartha, three riders of Ghosty, and four riders of Leo. One rider of Pom Pom. In the back, we have a movement of Pom Pom though. All his other five riders are also Ghosty riders. Barso also in the back, moving. 40 seconds in the peloton already. I think Leo also. No, Leo is in the back. This can get interesting.
Oh, this is not the ideal situation for
One
someone that
one
only
minute
has
one
one
minute one minute
domestic.
1 minute gap with Basso, Ghosty, and Pom Pom leaders on Leo, Denmark, and Copy.
Now that's a very interesting move. If they have everyone there, assuming they do, from what we saw,
I think yes, pretty surely.
it's a pretty great move for them and a delicate move for Leo because he only has one helper with his climber. So he needs to try and close this actually when the climb is going, not before, unless he wants to spend a bit too much of energy and maybe even drop someone to help. So Pasto Galileo might be the place for him to close this.
40 seconds only left. They are not going as fast as behind in this group.
Yeah, because there weren't they missed the pace there. Someone didn't close for the people that for the person that was pacing, and we've grown accustomed to actually seeing that happen too many times, unfortunately, which kills the momentum of a break and the gap as well. Then Mike pacing with all his riders because YOLO.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of dump from Dan Mike here, to be honest. But Leo will take it.
Yeah, it's a 14.5 kilometers climb at 6.5% average, 167 kilometers of altitude. Still 20 seconds, but now this is a perfect place for Leo to try and close this more steadily.
He doesn't even need to. Poppy and Dan Mike are doing the work,
Yeah,
which is pretty good. It would be interesting. No, okay, no, it's one group again anyway, as we had a split before in group one.
and then
Yeah,
Mike is
back
suffering there in
together,
the back.
back together. Stretch peloton, but back together.
And then Mike, who was at the beginning of the climb, was at the front, is now catching up. Amazing. And Basso takes the front of the peloton. Um, see what the mail wants. We have the scores of Group D. Yanu, brother of Tuanu and T2, is leading with 102 points. Second place for Frabo with 70, third place for Swags with 50, fourth place for Ben Young 35, then Barna 25, and Thales, as Sean pointed out so accurately and correctly, is in the mud, sixth place, 0 points.
They gotta move Basto and Leo this time. I don't know if it's Leo's A2 mountain. No, it's not. But I think it's Basto's. So he's again on the move.
Yeah, 5 riders, so definitely his leader has to be there. Probably already dropped a domestique on the previous climbing.
Ghosty also going and got a gap. So it's Ghosty Basto team attacking once again, and Leo there with 3 helpers, but not his leader.
Again, they are trying and well to take advantage of Leo's positioning with riders at the front to send their full teams. But let's keep in mind it's a long race, and there's still what's left is still a normal stage. So let's see who is going to do the better energy management. 29 seconds from the Basso group to I think it's Ghosty.
Yeah, it's Ghosty, but we have 4 and 4, so I think it's both people reduced to 4.
Perhaps
Can we check Ghosty group once, Emea, please?
ML take us to no. Yes, take us now to E2. It is
Yeah,
Ghosty's four
four and
riders.
four, but Ghosty gotta close it before getting closed by Peloton. Because then he can relay with Barso, and then it's good situation for both.
But he's not going at a good pace. He's gonna get closed.
Yeah,
Peloton is
exactly.
going. Leo is
No,
closing
Leo
it.
is closing a business with his leader. No, it's again not. Which should be good for Leo Bars, to be honest. And now Ghosty
This is
dropped
good for Leo,
again.
actually. This is great for Leo.
Yes.
And Ghosty goes with 2 riders only. Is it
Yeah, but
Buchman
no,
is the leader?
yeah, but especially now with 2 riders, he got to close to get to Basso, which he just did, and now he's got to just hang on. Maybe give
Yeah,
like one,
needs
two
to.
relays, but let Basso use his riders.
With the 2 rider advantage, he should definitely wait a bit before working,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Basso still has a lot of time to do that with the extra numbers. Ghosty was fifth on stage one, right? So he needs definitely to make something happen
Yeah.
on the second stage. It was Pom Pom winning, if I recall correctly, so uh, maintaining the good level from the previous rounds. And Loinski is the one doing the job for Basso currently in E1. still 140 kilometers to go. Round and round we go, but nothing has changed yet. It's six riders at the front, and the peloton. Emma shows the peloton who's chasing. Uh, what the fuck? Oh right, we're going back to Group A, Joe Whiteley's group, to do a quick update.
I'm gonna do a quick update on that in a second. I followed it. I just have an ad break right now where we are switching. It's 10 seconds left, then I can do an update. But
All right.
all I can say already is that it seemed like a pretty boring group going into it with 33 man peloton, but we have a really interesting race with riders all over the road for the last climbs. But it's all getting close again, and then it falls down again. It's pretty interesting. We had Tim
Joe is
closing.
dropped.
We had Tim closing several gaps. Now Joe is dropped. We have a breakaway without Joe now. All other breakaways were with Joe. A lot of them
Joe is back.
were without Tim. Tim should have worse bars than the rest with most of his riders. Looking at the situation just before, but yeah, it's now we just have a casual break. Joe trying to get in. That's the situation here.
And he's actually putting pace with quite a lot of speed, trying to close into the downhill, but still 24 seconds. He needs to close this before they get to Passo di Valcava, using the downhill as quick as he can, as he doesn't have any guys there, so it's not an advantage
Yeah.
for him in any way.
That is for sure. Also, this group will finish just before Sandicard once again.
Which means C must end after that, and D is indeed
Yeah.
today Group D.
Yeah.
We are going to, well, 3 minutes haven't passed yet, Emil, so if you followed your own dictations,
I,
we would all be happy.
oh, I do think though we may switch already to C because we have a pretty interesting
We are going to
situation
see.
happening
We do.
right there.
We do.
Sean, give us
Where
a
do we
cue.
move to Group C? We're to Group C.
Well,
We're,
we had to see
talk to us, guys.
with 155 kilometers here. And we've got two full team attacks off the front of the peloton. Kalmik is up front with 5, leading 30 seconds over Kingmaker, who is also off the front with 5. Over the rest of the peloton, which is full staffed and led by the wonderful Daniel Miko and Andrew Walker, who is now losing a domestique. But Kalmik is up front with everyone and trying to make it over the top of this climb. I'm surprised to see him not let Kingmaker make the gap. And he's trying. The gap is closing. But
Seems like they are gone to one group now. Looking at the group composition, I just
it's
E1 with 10 riders, 9 riders. So yeah, they're one group.
and it looks like Andrew Walker has decided that they should all go over together with some attacks. But this is about to be back together. But it was interesting to see Comic go for it, as I thought he might be the person to accidentally lose contact on the back after that happened in stage 1. But
Yeah,
they go
also
over the top of the climb together with 25
also
or 27 here. So
pretty interesting to see Comic on the move because you may think he's not the one needing to do it after his pretty surprising performance in stage 1, but he's not happy with just being third. He wants to be sure to be in the next round, which is pretty interesting and nice to see.
Let's see if it pays off. It is indeed nice to see, actually. Meanwhile, as everyone is back together, we will and see if someone is trying something or not.
Yeah, I think we are back to the center court, if I understood TBD correctly.
We are.
Yeah.
We are indeed.
Right here, we had a lot of two-man attacks going. In the meantime, we also had a group with 2 riders of Pom Pom, Ghosty, Leo, and Basso, 2 each. But also this one is back, and now we have 2 and 2. I think it's Leo and Basso. I don't know. Maybe Emea could show
May I
who's
show us who's
in
at the
front of 2.
front? Today, while I'm still young, or
2 of Basso
relatively young.
and 2 of Leo, maybe? Is it like that?
Who's E2 Emea?
It looked like
Yeah.
It is
It's
Leo
2
indeed.
helpers, but only helpers on both.
it.
Emea
It
does
feels
not
like
have
we
the
should
subtle.
assume.
Emea does not have the subtlety to do moves that are slow enough to see who's there. He just breezes, accelerating past them as if nothing was going on. Love it.
Pom Pom pacing in peloton with 4, taking responsibility as the stage winner of stage 1.
And looking at these numbers, all four should be together. All teams have 4 riders, and they should all be the same at
But
this point with that group of 6 off the back.
having the helpers up the front will make you have the helpers later on, because like if you just put them on dot 30 now, they have more energy reaching the peloton back. So it's a nice situation for Barcelona and Leo, but also as expected they are doing those moves.
Well, they have overall for Basso 1 minute and 48, give or take, and Leo is 1 minute ahead of the peloton, 45 seconds behind Basso. It's an interesting gap. They don't need to drop them back unless one of them might actually die before the top, depending on the pace. So it's looking good for them to actually have this number advantage at the end of the climb, unless the peloton decides to take it easy for the time being. Gap is increasing though. It's 2 minutes now. A little bit over 2 minutes.
If we may switch to Group A for a little, we have Toy Nu on the move with 3 riders. If I saw it correctly, of course I only see the peloton of Joe, but we have Toy Nu on the move with a 1 minute lead crossing the Passo di Valcova, so it's the highest climb of the race, I think.
All right, we
And
move
he's
to
passing it.
A, and I leave. Sorry to interrupt you. Move to A. I leave it on your capable hands, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly. We have Toy Nu. He had a lead of 1 minute. Now they're taking behind over the top, so it got down a little. But yeah.
And obviously, those hill guys will return here in this descent. But we do see groups with that 4th rider.
Yes. But also Emea just messaged me, we move back to Group B as Basso is moving with his 82 mountain. And this is of course an interesting situation as he's trying to make use of the helpers he just had up front. I think he still has one up front. Does he? Emea using one Basso rider?
You should, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, this is interesting. Basso on the move. Pretty good move, I think. But it's also only 43 seconds for now. Leo is pacing at the back, I think, with 3 riders. And this is actually interesting, because if he passes the top with like a minute, I think he can win it. But he gonna need a minute, because behind there's still a lot of riders in the peloton.
It looks like Leo has escaped from the rest. Doesn't feel like pacing everyone all the way to the top.
Exactly.
But will be with only 2 to try to bridge. I don't think he's going to have that minute.
Nah,
And
pace is too high for that one. Let's see. Leo with 2 there now. Now it gets interesting. Is Barca willed to actually pace Leo? Are they going to relay? Interesting one. I think we see Pom Pom pacing behind. Copy still with 3. Yeah, I think the only interesting situation is to see if they're relaying now. I think Pom Pom is dragging basically whole peloton. Yeah, Ghosty is there with only 1. Is Ghosty only there with 1 Emir? Can you check
there's
please?
no way.
Nah, he's 3
Ghosty
riders.
with 3.
Yeah, but Denmark only 2. Pom Pom also
And
only with 2.
and am I right that so Basso has 1 in this group,
Yeah,
but Leo does not. So Leo
exactly.
is down just to 2.
Pom, Leo, and then Mike are down to 2, while Basso has 2 up front and 1 in Peloton, and Copy and Ghosty are with 3 in the Peloton.
3.
Yeah. I think this just will get they will just get more lead because Pom is not going to do the work alone, and then we just will have the downhill while we're entering the next climb in Group A. Emir, maybe switch. Toyno's still on the move, Mendes pacing.
I think Emea might be
I don't
stuck
know.
here
He didn't
because he's
mention
hosting.
it all. But it's okay. We're just gonna keep commenting on the center court
Yep.
then if there's no message on a switch. Yeah, what do you think? Is this the winning move or isn't it?
I don't think it's the winning move here. Not for Leo. Basso being able to have a helper in this group, I think, is absolutely huge. We have seen 2 domestiques rejoin the group, and I don't know if Leo was that final one. But I think Pompon is in trouble. He should not be the one on the front.
Yeah.
With only 2, he should be making Ghosty do the work. In particular, um, I don't understand the logic because even if this group were to get to the finish line with 4, that's a benefit to Pompon. And he
Like
should.
also the fact that Pom won the first race is not making him be in the desperate need of the points. Like Ghosty got 5th, then Mike got
Correct.
6th, I think. So those are the 2 which desperately need like the 100 points or the 70 points of the first and the second place. Pom has those already. He's just fine with taking some more points and not having his competitors score that much.
And it's good to see that he got his 3rd rider back. I feel more comfortable with him helping now that he's back.
Yeah, also
But Leo still is the only one without a 3rd in any of these groups.
but there
If
isn't
I
any
if I'm
relay
counting right.
going. There isn't any relay going, which we were just able to see on the fact that Ghosty Rider on relay just rode away, which is pretty interesting. But now let's see how the climb goes for Barso and Leo. Also complaining about lags in the chat. 1 minute 20 lead now.
And we
Pom
see
is
a
good.
pause. We see a pause there.
Yeah, because Barca asked for it. But Ghosty is saying no legs.
You on car. Well, while
I
that's
mean,
happening,
yeah,
we can update on some of the other groups, even just verbally. Hush is leading
yeah, exactly what
the
we said.
peloton in Group C over the Paso de Valcava,
It's
and
actually not the Peloton, but the 9-man group, isn't it?
it.
With its 82 leader.
I assumed that it was the peloton, but it appears that these groups are much less selective than Group B, and then in Group A, we've got 2 off the front.
Should
Not
be
a
Toynu.
clue.
Should be Toynu still. He attacked like 2 climbs ago already, but I would guess he's still up front there. But let's go to Hush Group. It's actually a
Alder?
pretty interesting
Alder.
situation. Let's go to Hush Group, Emir. We do see Hush going with 2 riders over the top of Paso di Valcava. Miko with 1, Agap also with 1. This is interesting. I would like to know if it's also the 82 of Miko and yeah, it is 82 of Miko and Agap and Hush with 2. This is interesting.
And I think that is Goga playing as Ukraine today with Andrew Walker in the group stealing
Oh,
the same
okay, yeah,
team.
yeah, okay.
Um,
Just assumed it was Agap, of course.
yes, I did as well, and then I um,
Uh,
remember that he was
we
absent
have 44
today.
kilometers in Group A, 86 in Group C, and 62 in our group, which is just paused. But I think it's going again now. Emir, can you just tell me which group are we focusing on right now? Okay, we stay in B, so we gotta watch Basso and Leo off the fronts. 1 minute 40 lead nearly already. 1 minute 30, around that one.
Leo knows that he needs to push the pace here, because he is at the deficit. He is going to give the race win to Basso. I am sure of it. Not purposely, just how it needs to go, but he knows he needs to crest this climb with
Very
as much of a gap as possible, and
Leo
his
just
helper's
attacked.
gone.
Leo attacks. Leo attacks Basso. Which he needs to, because now he has Basso needing to take use of his helper, which is important because otherwise Leo is in the numerical disadvantage for for a lot longer.
Do
so
we
what?
think Basso is playing for the Hill Rider?
Nah.
I didn't think so, but he was in the 82 Mountains wheel.
Yeah, which is
What was
because Buzzer wants to save his bars.
it?
Surely.
Guys, where are the 82 mountain riders right now?
Bassos in E2, Leos in E1, others in favorites group.
All right, so we do have an open race right now.
And
Yeah,
Colby's still with 3.
but
Um,
doesn't
somebody
matter.
is gone from the group.
Basso
Dan
and
Mike
Leo,
That
is.
Basso and Leo won. Basso and Leo won. I'm pretty sure. Two
it's
minutes
a
nearly.
major gap. Yeah.
2.5 for Leo even. Also, Basso kept
Preserving
his
that
hero rider
helper.
for the downhill, which is pretty good.
Yeah, preserving that helper is going to be goals for Basso actually. So
Yeah,
Basso
so
and Leo managed to take advantage of the lack of cohesion behind to make this move. I see.
while we are
Absolutely.
in the descent of this group, I will keep a quick update on Group A, which is actually a little bit further in the stage, 20
Talk
kilometers
to
more.
us.
We have Toinu still up front since Passo di Valcava, while we have passed all major climbs and just have 25 kilometers, and he's 1 minute in the front. At least I'm pretty sure it's Toinu because I never saw
It
him back in
is.
the peloton. And now we have Aldo on the move. Just as I'm speaking, Aldo tries to attack with 4 people, but not happening. Joe was also in the group, not in the group, but in front of the group with 2 riders, just got caught again. I think Toinu may have this actually. Constantly gap of 1 minute.
And
Joe, also with 4 riders here. Depending on bars, I'm very curious to see how that cobbled descent is going to impact the recovery.
Yes.
Um,
Emea just informed me we will watch the climb of Group B as it's an interesting situation with Basso and Leo, but we will switch back to Group A as we will enter the finish here soon. Just keep an eye on Group B now. Leo, half a minute ahead of Basso.
okay, we're gonna stick with Group A for because first.
Poppy getting on the move behind, but I think it's too late. It may be too late just now.
and as they crest the climb here, Leo still has 25 seconds. I don't think it's enough with that descent and the hill rider still present, but they're going to be back together very shortly here if you look back to E1, E2. But Ghosty is also on the move, trying to create some separation heading into the
As we are
downhill.
entering downhill and also entering the last 10 kilometers of Group A, we will go there now to watch the finish. It's
Are you guys hearing me?
yeah, but
Yes.
it's a bit. bit laggy. So just a bit.
Alright.
We
Uh,
have Toinu Rider still up front, 20 seconds, but I think he will get caught. Aldo still with 3, Tim with 2. Those two are pacing now. Joe in the back with 2, Snake also with 2. Tim on the attack, and now he catches Toinu. This should be
And
the end for Toinu.
and I think Joe is pacing here for Cummings, his hill rider, which is a great move if he can swing it. It's unclear who the others are riding for
I think everyone is
exactly.
ready for Hill Rider pretty surely because given the fact that everyone still has 2, I would guess it's Hill Rider and the 82 Mountain, and given the finish, Hill Rider should be the better one here. But let's see. We have Alder going off the front, Snake and Joe in the back. I think a well-placed attack here may even lead to something, but let's see what Tim is doing. Entering the last climb now. Joe a bit blocked here, Tim having a good lead out on the left, right. Snake in the middle. Mendes moving.
should be backhand
Mendes,
all.
Snake, maybe Joe Snake, should be Snake. Snake winning it ahead of Mendes and Tim,
And I'm gonna say Tim and Alder,
and then Joe, yeah.
and then Joe leaving
One player is
Toinu
missing in this group. Oh no, Tony wasn't missing
for
in the
2.
group, he just got 7th.
So wait, what were the top spots?
First for Snake, second for Mendes, third for Tim, fourth for Alder, fifth for Joel, seventh, but in the same group, so still gets points for Toinu.
Not good
We are
for
moving
weather
back
right
to
now.
B onto the end because we also only have 15 kilometers there.
Alright, center court it is, and we are close to the end indeed. When this one is over, we will jump as quickly as possible to Group C.
We have only a 30-second lead still for the group of Leo and Barso, and the hill rider of Copy is going incredibly fast up here, this little bump.
He actually attacked.
Yeah, Ghosty is on his wheel, I think. 8-second gap though. But this is interesting. This is interesting. Let's see if they can catch up still. Barso went for his hill rider, while Leo went for his climber. Let's see.
Yeah, so Sean was right. He was indeed playing for the Hell Raider.
Yes, true. Now we have the cobble descent.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me seeing the finish that Buster would try that, and it could actually
50
come back
seconds.
to help him.
50
Yeah,
seconds. Others don't really have an organized relay, but it's only 40 seconds. If they get one now,
and
that may be it.
it's bump on pacing
Basu
right
got a
now.
gap. Basu got a gap. 7 seconds.
Um,
8, 9. I think Leo doesn't have the bars to follow this one.
There is not good cooperation in the back though, so this might be for the two of them to fight for.
But we do have two little bumps still. If we get a hard pace in the back, I think Leo
Attack
may
from
be fine.
Godu. Attack from Godu.
Dan Mike following, Ghosty following, Copy a bit fucked here. I think. But I think
Yep.
it's a bit annoying also for Ghosty that those two went. But let's see, it's only 20 seconds left. Leo going,
And
Leo
now
going.
Leo attacking Swepchuk.
See.
This is really interesting. Basto doesn't have that good of bars, seeing on his rider animation.
Yeah, and
Also,
this might come back to haunt him.
let's see. Leo also bet on bars. I think those behind have the better bars. But let's see.
And it's looking
But
good. But if
they're
Pompo and
They
that
are
might,
stopping again. They are
they
stopping
are
again.
stopping, and that's the
Ghost,
worst thing it could do.
that's the win, but Ghosty may come back onto the second group. And there Ghosty is back. And now let's see what's going up go in front. Ghosty on the wheel of the others.
And the win is going to be for those two. So one of them
Exactly.
will get it. And now it's Leo taking Basto's wheel, as if there was no tomorrow, to get as much energy
Basto's
as
dead.
possible. And
Oh,
Basto's dead.
Basto
Basso's dead. Basso's dead.
fault.
Leo has it.
It's going to be Leo. It's going to be Leo.
But let's
Leo
see
I
if
is
thought
on
he's
the
Basto
gonna
can.
get
press.
past. He's gonna get past.
Oh, Leo takes it, and Basto is in trouble. Basto is in trouble. Let's see if he can still take
Pom
and
Pom
pull the
second,
There
I
advantage.
goes
think.
Pompo is gonna pass
Goiju
Basto.
for Pompon.
Oh, and Pompo takes the second. He's almost qualified at this point. He's qualified at this point, I think.
That is
Tremendous from Pompo. 1, two in the first two stages of the night. 170 points. It might be in, and it should be enough for qualification, I think.
I gotta say, we may have to argue here that Basso betted on the wrong horse, as Emea just wrote. I think
Yes,
playing
he did.
for
I
the
think he
82
did.
Mountain would have been a lot better, and I think Basso could
In
have won
I
solo this one.
I think he was overthinking this, trying to get the advantage whenever he could. I think it came back to haunt him, and we're going back. We're going, sorry, to Group C.
Exactly. Group C, as it's also only 15 kilometers, but here we have a really, really big peloton as
it's
we are going into this one.
everybody uh with three except for Hush, who has just lost his uh 78 medium mountain.
Yeah.
Um, Kalmik still with three and also leading the pace over this climb here. Very smart for him to be at the front of this climb as the least experienced of any of these riders.
It's great positioning.
And there's a
It's a
gap.
small gap.
Um, it should easily come back in the descent here with all the other riders, but um,
It is back, and there's 14 riders left.
so we see Kingmaker with three in good position as well. I think Miko has lost his
He has two riders only, yes, and then Rocker also
consistency.
has two. ACAP still has three.
Three. Goga. Goga's playing as Ukraine today with the double
Oh, it's go.
Russian.
Okay.
So
And Goga still is the guy with him and
We are
Kingmaker, the
having
guys
here.
with more riders. Bergamo Altitude it's 378 meters and 2.3. Sorry, Bergamo Altitude it's 2.3 kilometers at 373 meters on altitude, 4.5 average percent. And as I say that, it is close to the end. Downhill we go. There's 5.3 kilometers. This is going to be a sprint between the favorites and a couple of helpers even.
do we
Those
think
with three,
anyone's going to try to attack?
I would say that either Goga or Kingmaker are the ones in perfect position for that. But it's Hush, actually. Seemed like it, but it was just an acceleration. Kingmaker down to two as well now, I believe. I don't know if anyone has the puncher here, but I'm assuming not.
Bargi is
Oh,
the
it was
puncher
good.
for sure.
Oh,
1K
Hush
to
has it.
go. Goga in the front with both.
And this sprint is coming down to the sprint, and let's
And
see if the
Comic
puncher is
coming
going to
up
bring
for
this
a
Hush. It's going to
potential
bring the win.
second.
It's going to bring the win. It's going to bring the win. It's going to bring the win for him. He'll be second,
Nope.
and he's going to be
It's
blocked there.
Goga,
Oh,
Goga, 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 Goga.
Goga!
oh, Goga! Goga still managed to get it. I thought he was going to pass ahead, but Goga manages to steal it, and Hush is only second. The third place goes for the other French. I don't remember who it is.
Kingmaker, I think.
Uh,
Kingmaker.
Kingmaker, yes. And Miko is only fourth. Fifth goes to Kalmik, and the sixth is for wow. I think it's France one rider. So
So let us just watch Group D.
D.
how is Deacon? We have an update. Sorry guys to interrupt. We have an update, and these are standings of well, these are standings. Okay, there we go. Should work now. Hopefully. We do have the updated standings of Group B and Group A as well. After two stages, Group A, Mendes takes the lead with 170 points. Second place goes for Snake. Mendes keeps the lead. Snake rises to second, 151. Joe Whiteley is now only third, 95 points. Still in the qualification zone because then comes Tim and Ford, 68 points. Alder fifth, 60 points. Tronwyn about 53 points. Group B, our center court puts Pompon still in the lead, even with the second place, 170. Leo Falangi second, 150. Basel third, 120. And almost qualified because Copy is behind 60 points. He has 60 and is 60 behind Basel. Fifth Mike 53, and in the mud is Ghosty 43. So it's looking good for Basel to get that third spot, or even second. How is Group D going, guys?
Group D is just still the casual race. We have two riders up front, one of Basso and I think other of Janu, but I'm not completely sure. It's the 82s, 1 minute 10 ahead. Then we have a 15-man
Sorry,
peloton.
sorry. Amended Group B. It's even better for Basel. Basel has the 120 that I mentioned. Kopi now with the fixed classification has 53 points, so that's 67 points advantage. Basel will need a disaster at this point to not qualify. Back to you guys. Guys?
Yeah, we are on Group
Yep.
D. We are entering the second last bigger climb. 15-man peloton with a lot of riders of everyone, and 1 minute 20 for the 82s of Janu and Frabo.
And Yanu coming back with their hill rider as well, I think, after being dropped. Ben Young has 4 in this group.
Frabo. Please, this is not another update, Amaya. Oh, it is Group C standings. So
Yes.
third, Daniel Miko 145, Gogo 135 in second, Andrew Walker third 88, same points as Hush and Ford 88, Kingmaker fifth 76, 75 is the last place for Calmeek 75 points, 1 point behind Kingmaker. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
All right.
Yeah. Uh,
So Walker
yeah,
and Hush are on the same point.
we stay on Group D now for the 60 kilometers, or we also take a switch because on Group A we're having the
We
first
stay
break
for D.
performed.
We stay for D. We currently stay for D as it is the second stage, the only second stage that hasn't finished. And there's still way to go. But right now, Emma is having to keep us here for technical reasons. Called his ladder. Who's that with Chicone?
Bravo.
No, who's with Frabo? I mean, who's the
Ah,
French?
Janu.
Ah, yeah, no. So he's. I wonder if it's the mountain guy for him as well.
I think so because Frabo and him were also texting about the relays, and I don't think Janu would ever relay without him being the 82.
Hey, interesting scenario in here in this group.
We have French going. I think Barna moving here.
And Ben Young following, not wanting that to get away. Um, I think, I mean, obviously there's a lot in this back group, but they should try to get the gap under a minute heading into the descent here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there because as we also saw in the other groups, a minute about this climb is pretty good.
I'm going to assume Formolo is the puncher and to preserve him there, but
Yeah, I think Frabo is playing it pretty good. He's playing for two riders, one in the break if it gets through,
keep
one
hard.
in behind.
Interesting move. He's doing it correctly, unlike opposite. Launched the everything on him and then the mountain to try and be at that sprint.
Yes. Did it went down to a minute? Yeah, it did. Okay.
Now, Frabo Zana for Formolo being app is very of being closer. 34 seconds. Bravo asking for 30.
A rider is taking his chance alone.
Time for Mr. Shitbars to relay now, says Ben Young. And with assuming Swaxon.
Yes, Swagson talked about not having to relay earlier in the chat.
Okay, lovely. Always fun to see them. Just say fuck you. It's usually better than trying to play mind games. That worked. And 47 kilometers to go. Wow, this group is really behind. Yes, Emma, good to know. We are currently in the breakaway there, so we are keeping our eye on this group for now. Maybe Chelsea. Our center court telling that there is a break forming. Group is split on cap. Right now, we stick to Swaxon. There's another that road that I believe who it is. On to first group. Miko maybe? No, Miko is in group C. It's Belgian.
Really,
I don't know
really
who it
big,
is.
really big break here.
It's Tails. Tails, who was riding as the Tunisians in the first one. He is alone with his, I believe, 82.
Yeah, I would guess.
Um, now into the front group.
Interesting move from him because movement sticks cause only spacing. Now, if this movement sticks, they might have the tree first. But there's still a lot of time.
I think it's pretty interesting, but also it may not pay out for Frabo in the end, playing 2 single races here.
Again, we get the from what we've seen so far in all groups. One with and preferably the 82 mountain rider. Puncher did give a second place to, but
Emir, just
for him
inform
only.
me, we are moving to the center course because of a big attack going there. We have three players with a whole team attack 1 minute in front of the others. And
Oh,
now we
I
are.
his message, so definitely he went to you. Okay, let's get to the cards. All right. What's the situation?
Yeah, we have, as I just said, we have a attack of Ghosty, Basso, and Copy with all 6 riders, and the other 3 players
Oh,
behind. Uh, yeah, basically it's that, but it doesn't seem to have a really good relay up front, more like attacks going still, which is
which
good for the ones behind.
this move would only knock out
and Mike attacking as
Leo.
well.
Um, because they can't
How,
catch Pompon. If
They
that group,
actually have a lot of wind now. They're using the wind a lot, which means Ghosty is dropped right now, while Basso is pushing it
Carnage.
hard. This is
Carnage
going
is
really,
real.
really hard.
Yeah, I mean
Yes.
these border sections are definitely being
Who
used
attacked
right
behind
now.
the mayor? Can you show who attacked behind?
Andrew, it was Andrew.
Ah, it's
then like,
Dan Mike. Okay.
Dan Mike, sorry, yes.
So
Yes, Dan
Pompon
Miko.
and Leo just behind, but Leo seems like he's not worrying currently.
Because as always, there's always someone too close for someone else, and Leo's capitalizing on that. He's lucky that it's someone less experienced, because if it was someone else, and now Leo puts a guy to work. Because if it was someone else, Leo would be in a delicate position there.
Yeah, we are now
we
back
have
until the end because we are entering the final 3
yep,
climbs. There are only 18 kilometers left here.
All right, let's go
And
there.
we have
And
Ben Young just attacked.
interesting.
Swagson with 3. One of them pretty dead though. Trouble with 2, Tails with 1. Barner also with 2.
2, and the attack is back.
Barner going now.
And Yanu as well. Trying to cover the moves here.
Bravo going for the puncher now.
I'm surprised Tails has been able to stay with one for as long as he has, but it looks like he will make the finish if he's doing
Too soon
Yeah.
to say that.
this.
At least he's gonna be uh until at least this might have low energy for the end. And I think it's two riders, less in the case of Tails. Right? Yeah. Benyang only has one as well, actually. Surprising for Benyang.
And it's the 82 Mountain for Arnsman, I believe.
So not the best position for Benyang as well. And Alta is .8. Coming, set level.
All players preparing the final sprint here. Swaxon
Bravo
Here we
leading.
looks
have
in great position,
is in a strange position when rider
and
sweats. The sprint is almost under. It's the French guy who is was taking another French guy taking the and Benyang is up there. So very risky, but it is since it is a climbing
Swagson
finish.
with one.
Barna going, Yanu going
Barna
there.
Sparta
and
and Yanu and
Yanu
Barna goes
with
Yanu,
Swagson in the
Bravo,
wheel.
Barna should be Barna.
Swagson.
Barna,
Barna, yes.
It's
Bravo,
gonna be Bravo maybe.
Benyong,
Oh Benyang.
followed by Swagson and
Oh Yanu gets passed by the
Yanu.
finish line despite being the final is in the tails is a lot. Now affects the score of the group. We will soon.
We are back onto the center court, I think.
Yes, the
Which means us seeing Peloton all back together. All the attacks we had in the start are closed, and now they're just pacing up the little steep hills here. Still Copy trying again to break away with all his riders, I think.
been a very offensive race from him. He might come to regret it in the closing stages. It's going to become very
While in Group A we are the most into the race, we have a break of whole team of Alder, 4 riders of Joe and 3 riders of Snake, 1 minute ahead, entering 90 kilometers left just now. Interesting situation also here. Mendes already
copy
talking
pacing
about
again.
GG Alder. Yeah.
And in Group C, there is a breakaway of 5 unknown, but it looks like all of Comics Riders minus 1, with a minute and 15 seconds over the Peloton, and 30 seconds over 2 riders of Goga who are sat in no man's land.
Copy continues to put pace here at the front, not attacking but still putting pace. And he might calm down a bit now. Ghosty taking the front with um, Pompon on his right side, who has 170 points and has been apparently through Bossel's resume closing gaps at one point. And Bossel was complaining, "You have 170 points. I'm not threatening you." The
I mean,
inexperience. Sometimes they're not attacking.
Pompon is guaranteed to pass through
Yeah.
into
I,
the semifinals,
it,
as long as Kopi does not go first and second. Sorry, Kopi, Dan Mike, or Ghosty go first and second here, which he just needs to stay in the front group, but apparently that is a slight struggle with the way they are attacking in the wind.
Short-lived break though. It was Dan Miko, the Russian Dan Mike, that actually closed it for Pompon, and there's movement again from Copy and Basso. To no avail. Yet again, denied by the peloton. So, if Copy wants to pass, he needs indeed to take a win, and he needs to hope. I think it's Basso in third place, and that he would finish in the last spots. We have indications to give. Um, can you hear me now?
That's really a punchy attack.
We've got the Group D result.
Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, we have the group results. Yes. Group D is led by Il Realissimo Frabo, two second places. Yanu is second, 127, and Barnett third, 125. And things are dangerous, very dangerous for both Swaxon and Ben Young. Swaxon fourth, 86 points. Ben Young fifth, 85 points. And Tails is incredibly in the mud with 18 points and already eliminated. So 39 points, it's a major gap for Swagson and 40 points for Ben Young. These two are in serious danger.
Yes. Are we currently on the center court?
We were.
Yes,
We've got
so we have still Basso and Ghosty were on attack. Ghosty just got caught, but Basso's moving immediately again. Basso's playing this one really aggressive, and I'm not sure yet if it will pay out for him in the end. I mean, it's pretty interesting because Barcel's trying to use the little uphills and the wind sections, but Lobby is not really responding to it. Like they are just closing the gaps. Now Dan Mike is going with 5, and I think it may fuck Bas a little.
I'm worried for him in this position. Basso is not used to being in the dangerous positions. Obviously more faith there than for Kopi or Dan Mike, but
It's
I'm
not
surprised he's not playing
really that
safer
dangerous.
that there's a break.
I mean, I gotta say, basically, Basso is already through. Basso, Leo, and Pom
Yeah,
Pom seem to be the three to pass already. But of course,
possibly
if he
needs.
chokes this race, then
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he would need 0 points, and I think it is or like you said, right? We need either a win or a second place for one of them because they would need to. There's like 70 points or 60 points to close. They would need either a second with Boston not scoring or a first and Boston not scoring much, so like fifth maybe.
Yeah, after we have a pretty still complete peloton in Group B, we gotta switch to Group A now, where we had an attack of Alde going for a lot of kilometers just before, but looking at the group now, it is caught, and we have Joe taking the front of the peloton, which is actually 25 man big. We are entering one of the steeper climbs, and we have Mendes still with the whole team as the only one. Let's see if there's anyone willing to attack on this climb just right now. Tim is putting up a high pace, also Toinu and Joe are going from the front, but I think Mendes with 6 riders has a pretty interesting situation here.
And
Yeah.
for Group C as well, they are heading into the descent of the second major climb. And it is still Kalmik trying to push the pace up front in a breakaway. He is down to 4 riders with any energy left up front. I think he is pushing far too early. But there is a counter move moving with riders from almost every team. I think there are there's one from Hush, 3 from Andrew Walker, 2 with Goga. and that leaves two of Daniel Miko in an 11-man group in between the Kalmyk Breakaway and the 20-man Peloton. I think it is far too early for any of those riders to make a difference. They've got about a minute for each of those gaps there, but Kalmyk is pushing ahead, trying to make the big difference, sitting, I believe, in
I
sixth
would
place
also
in the
assume
standings.
it's only help us up there, right? Like we can't see it completely, but I would guess no one puts his leader up there already now.
Except for Kalmyk, I believe that is correct.
Yeah, of course. As Cormac is team attacking, it makes just sense. Uh, yeah, on Group A we had attacks of both Joe and also Toinu, as we were on Group C, and yeah, now we are back onto our center court. And in the center court, we still have the complete peloton of 28 riders. There are attacks every climb, but it's getting close all the time. Now Leo is taking the front for the next climb. Let's see if he doesn't move.
The riders are
We do
reinforcing
see
above 10%.
also not Toinu is it here? Here it is. Copy taking the front with all his riders again, as we saw it a lot of times before. Uh, but as the group is going, I think a sprint isn't that unlikely, don't you think, Sir Sean?
I think this is absolutely coming to a sprint, and I think Basso is smart to be no longer attacking. We haven't seen anything from him in the last 20 kilometers. I think he realizes he should stay in this group as the only one in any possible danger. Um, I think Leo is also playing this fantastically so far, being able to match
Yeah, and I also
the
gotta
rest,
say,
but this is coming to a sprint.
I didn't see Leo in any attack so far, and that may pay off. As of course, any attack which is not going in the end, just a bar spending. But Copy is moving now. Copy is moving. Let's see if Ghosty lets him go. At least he got a gap so far. Ghosty trying to close it now. I mean, Ghosty somewhat needs to. Ghosty needs to win for sure if he wants to have any chance of passing still.
I
Same
mean,
goes for Copy and Dan Mike basically.
they need a win, um,
And they also need
and
lucky compositions of Leo, Pom Pom, and Basso placements.
right,
It's not
they
only
have to be
their
hoping
start.
for a breakaway
Yes,
um,
that is
victory
for
at this
sure.
point.
That is for sure. But yeah, as we see Copy and Ghosty going, we also see Basso pacing now in peloton, being fully aware of the situation that a break of those is not allowed to go, or is he actually trying to catch up to
The
them? I'm not
quickest
sure.
rider is looking to
Yeah,
take the
he's
lead.
attacking up to
It
them.
is an attack, yeah.
Which I think is
Eh,
not that smart because for Basso, Pom and Leo, it's I think smart just to control. I mean, at this point, it's all about just reaching the semis, and yeah, if
but
no one of those three wins, they like show the pass.
Testing one, two, three.
you are back here, the biggest of all dogs. You
All
are
right.
loud and clear.
What is the
Ghosty attacking
Where
now.
are we
Ghosty
right now?
attacking
Center
now. This
court.
could be interesting. This could be interesting. Yeah, we are on the center court.
Yes.
Copy up front with four. Ghosty trying to catch up, and yeah, Peloton catching behind. Now we have again an attack of Basso, who is still trying to be up front instead of just controlling.
But with Basso being up front, that's
With Basso being
totally fine for him as well. He guarantees himself a placement, which is
exactly,
really all he needs. Um,
we basically are having team attacks all along here, and Basso being up there with Ghosty means also that Coffee and Ghosty are don't really have a chance to pass, as Basso is the one who's the most likely for them to catch with only 120 points.
and we know this is going to come down to a sprint of some sort. Um, I would assume almost everyone is going for their hill rider. Do we think is there anyone with their 77 sprinter trying to make it to the final here?
Yeah, maybe, but before we are taking a closer look on the 77, so we will now be switching to Group A as we enter the last three final climbs and only 22 kilometers left. Joe is pushing into the first of those last climbs, but Mendes still has all six riders
Six.
as the only one. Same situation as Call before. But
And
he
there's no one even with just five. It is Mendez with six and everyone else with three or four. Tim, I think now with two. heading
Yes,
into
Snake with 4, Joe only with 3 also, if I see correctly.
his
So
his
Mendes
fourth did
did a
drop.
pretty good bar saving here, but I do think that it's not as OP for him in the end as it may seem right now, because for the lead out, those 6 all won't be useful anyway, and I think some will die. But yeah, he may have better attacked it if he does so numerical advantage. And there he's already down to 4. Yeah, there he's already down to 4. Same as Snake, and also, yeah, Snake and Mendes only the only ones with 4.
Yeah.
Yanu, is it Yanu here or
It
Toinu?
is
Toinu
it
here,
is
Toinu here.
Toinu. Toinu needs the win more than anyone here. Although things are close, Mendez is the one who is safe regardless, assuming he scores 6th place points. Um, Tim and Alder in the best spot to attack Joe for the 3rd qualifying
For
spot.
sure, for sure. Last climb approaching. Now only 40 kilometers left. Toinu again on the attack, but I don't think this is useful for him. I think best chance for winning here is just waiting for the sprint, even if Toinu is the one desperately in need for points. Maybe Tim is going now. Let's see.
It looks like Tim is going to try, but is not getting anywhere. Toinu is
On the
following
wheel,
with
Toinu on the wheel, and this could be
2.
interesting. This could be interesting if 4 riders are actually going, but Joe doesn't let them go anywhere. Snake and Mendes, I think, still with 4. Maybe even there's 77. Which could be interesting. They're still onto the back of this group, saving bars for the sprint. Oh, only 3. Snake and Mendes down to 3.
Should
Joe
we head
also
into the
3.
final descent?
Yes. Let us
Is
see.
there
Toinu with 2.
anyone willing to attack in
I
this?
mean,
Um,
there's like little bump up there, which could have been used for an attack, but wasn't. And Aldo is taking the front here. Now we are basically all prepared for final sprint. We see Mendes taking the front now. I think for the first time we are on the stream. Uh, and yeah, he's starting his lead out. Snake on the left, Joe in the middle. I think those 3 have the best positions for a lead out, but also Alda may be interesting one. Tim is going
Tim
for
in
it
the
again.
worst, but
Tim
going
is
with
going
attack
for it again.
for Camna to try to get in front here. Looks at the corners. Oh, tons of corners heading into this finale,
Yeah,
but final 2K
Mendes
are
is
great.
Mendes is moving completely. What is going on here? And Snake's lead out is starting. Snake's lead out is starting. Snake or also Joe. Mendes in the middle. I
Cummings is
think
coming.
it's
Cummings is coming
for
here. It's going to be
Joe.
for
No, it's
Joe.
Alda.
Alder,
Alda.
Alder,
Alda.
Alder.
It's for Alder. In front of Joe, in front of Snake, which I think means Alder is passing. Let me check. Let me check this group just before. Joe
No,
got
that should
second.
not.
No,
No,
Joe
he
got
will not
second.
pass.
Yeah, sadly Alder won't pass. Really good last race from him, but it's close as he will be 5 points behind Joe.
And we are back to center court
Yeah, back to center
Excuse me.
court.
with
I
14 to
wouldn't go
go.
as far as putting it sadly, but sure.
Um,
And he's about
with
to
that, we
blow
have an
through
attack from
his final
Kopi with
retreat.
Alaphilippe. This is his best shot at getting the 100 points here if he can hold on the flat. But it looks like he may be dead here. And Pom Pom with 2. This is a not great move as
Yeah,
they
Basler
don't create
closing in
much
with
gap.
3. But while we are watching this group going, we don't have an official count yet, but with quick
The
head
finish line is
calculations by
getting
me, it
close.
looks like we have our first 3 semifinalists in Mendes,
Line is at
Snake,
furrow
and
as we're into the
Joe.
last descent.
And yeah,
Pom
OC
Pom still
pacing
with
in the
2.
peloton, and Pom Pom with 2 up front, I think, yes?
This
This could
could
be a
be
winning
the
move.
1-2. This is the winning move, and Basso will do nothing here to guarantee um,
I think
his
so too.
own
And
safety
I
as
think with
well.
Pom Pom winning this one, that means also that Leo, Basso, and Pom Pom will be the other semifinalists of this group. So we have the first 6, but let's see.
Great showing from Pom Pom, though. He's
Leo
corresponding to
pacing
what he
now
did
though,
in year round.
but Pom Pom is really playing great.
Looks like
If
it
he
might
wins
just
this
Uh-oh.
be
group, it's
one.
still. If he
Yeah,
wins
but this
this
should
group,
be
it's
for
still
him.
going to be a shocker
This
compared
should
to
be for
guys like
Pom Pom.
Leo, Bosco, and others.
Barca for the
And the
sprint, Leo
sprint
for the
is
sprint.
underway.
We see
First
Pom Pom
place is
going, Pom
secure.
Pom
Ghosty
going,
coming
Pom Pom
Pom-Pom.
one,
late.
Pom Pom one.
Ghosty coming late for second.
Then Mike, Ghosty, Basso.
It might be Ghosty. It might be
It's
Ghosty. It's gonna
Dan
be
Tony
that
and
Mike.
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 Ghosty.
Then Mike second, Ghosty third,
And
and Ghosty is out. Then Mike is out. Everyone that is not called Leo, Basso, or Pompon is out. Pompon wins
Exactly.
the group with this win.
So we have the first six semi-finalists already, while we are moving to Group C, which has just 58 kilometers left. Yeah, we have the final standings of Group A. We have Snake winning the group with 201 points, Mendes on second with 195, Joe Whiteley on third, so my head calculations were correct as those three are passing. He has 165 points, just 5 points ahead of Alde, who nearly got in by winning the last stage. Tim and Toinu are on 103 and 71 points and therefore are also out of the Classics competition.
So, as Finn was saying, it's Snake, 201, 195 for Mendes, and 165 only for Joe. That's only 5 points above Alder, Finn, so that was actually very close. Finn?
now
Yeah,
I'm guessing we will head to Group C
yeah,
with
feeling
their
good.
Group
50
C it is.
kilometers to go. As Group D still has 100 with Frabo falling off the back by accident and attacking back to connect to the group. But we have 29 riders, all with 50k to go here in Group C, led by
Yeah,
Hush on the front of the peloton.
before we are
You have to leave to
going
close the stream.
before we are going into Group C, I will just check on the standings before to keep them in mind. We have Miko and Goga with a big gap in points on the others. So those two, yeah, I mean, are not sure to pass, but basically are. But the others are all in between just 13 points, the other four. So I think between Andrew Walker, Hush, Kingmaker, and Comic, it's a really interesting fight for the third spot of this group in semifinals. Who do you
I
think?
Yeah.
think I think Kamek has to be out of the conversation. It looks like he is with three, with most of the other groups still very well um, packed with riders. Miko at least with
Guys,
five. Looks like five
Group
from
B
most of
is
the group as well.
Pop with 2 wins in second place, demolishes everyone, 270 points. Leo Falandri maintains his second, 185. Third, 146. Then Mike, fourth, 123. So 23 points behind Basel, but it was fifth, 100. And Copy in the mud, sixth and seventh. So as I predicted, I see Obaso and someone else, possibly Pompon or Copy. Was actually Pompon get the nod, and Ghosty only fifth. We are back to Group D.
Yeah, we are on to Group C where we have a 29-man peloton, and I think it's also going to be a sprint, I would say. Uh,
Certainly. With the way the Hush is playing this and Kingmaker also on the front here, they are banking on their sprint. Um,
I see it's Kalmik, Goga, and Tails in the back. Hash trying to get a position for the upper junction. Very close, 3.5 kilometers at 8.8 and it's 300 meters, 304 of altitude.
yeah, while we are on Group C, we do see Kingmaker pacing and Miko also on the left. Goga still with a lot of riders, and Komik is a bit of struggling, but he still is in the group with at least three, I think.
he's with three.
Three.
Goga was with six entering the climb and still is when we've seen a couple of other domestiques falter at the start of
So
this one. It looks like from Hush.
it seems like the usual passive gameplay of Goga. So he's let's see what he can do with that extra numbers though later on.
Yeah,
Which it now could be the time to use them while entering that
Yeah,
series of three climbs. Now, not exactly, but
but he's
to
not gonna
keep
do
some of
that.
those other domestiques off the back as well.
And it's Kingmaker pacing at the front, right? And
yeah, it was Kingmaker pacing, but he also stopped now. I think Also here all is settling for a sprint, but yeah, let's see if someone tries an
The
attack on those
next
last few
few
climbs.
the next few climbs, yeah, I was gonna say that it can still be decisive for the outcome. People might try and still get a gap there. Goga, with the amount of riders that he has, could definitely try something. And now Hushi trying to take the front of the race, uh, putting his two trains in one now, and goes to High Street at the front.
And
Yeah.
there's a group of 4 that was dropped immediately on the attack. And Kalmik also trying to get a gap again. I am surprised that he is fighting in this way, but um,
I mean,
it
it's
is lovely to see.
entertaining and cool to see, but Hush should be pacing right now. Yeah, let's see what's happening here. If Komik actually gets a gap, I think attacking just before the hills and not into them is a pretty smart idea. Let's see.
It might be if he can keep the pace though, because he
Yeah,
was down on
exactly.
riders compared to others, and he might be suffering on energy. But he goes into the High Street, leading the pack. It might be Miko closing him here.
And Kingmaker, it looks like Miko of all folks should be letting this attack go because it doesn't matter to him one
To
bit.
let
Um,
attacks go would be against Miko's DNA.
there's no KOM, bro.
uh,
But anyway, Goga is wasting his advantage here, not doing anything. Um, but
oh,
that
that's
is
usual for
Andrew
him.
Walker
Don't worry.
attacking.
Yeah, it's Andrew
That's
Walker going, and Komik again on the wheel. Komik is playing really, really aggressively here, and I like it. I
for
like it
those
a
of
lot.
you that in the regular season, that's his to move, doing absolutely nothing and keeping as many riders as possible to then lose them all in the end. It from
Yeah, now we are going into the last actual big climb. I think it was also the one where Pom Pom attacked. Pom Pom was the only group where we saw an attack so far. But yeah, this seems to settle the sprint. Maybe Goga, maybe blocked there, I think.
I don't think it's surprising that we get to see a sprint here. By the way, they're
Oop,
in.
Kingmaker
and
going, Kingmaker going.
Kingmaker going, and 2 riders dead for
Miko
Kingmaker as
following,
well.
Miko following.
Kalmik down to 2, Miko. Andrew Walker still with 3, and Goga's riders falling off.
Kingmaker alone. Kingmaker alone with his whole guy.
Oh, the shock!
Pacing it back himself though.
Went from 6 to 2 riders. I think maybe 2 riders. I think it is. So the
uh,
shock.
Andrew Walker or pacing him back, but it's still 10
Kalmik's
km.
So
rider
Kalmik has
looks dead on the back.
one dead
Um,
rider. Yeah,
but he can recover here,
he can survive
do
for the
no
sprint.
work, and still sprint absolutely.
But he's
Andrew Walker needs to pull this back as well, though, or Kingmaker will take that final spot away
Koga's
from.
number
Keep,
advantage, as expected, was
keep
wasted.
keep in mind, guys, that basically whoever finishes ahead of Andrew Walker, Hush, Kingmaker, and Komik passes, as Goga and Miko already passed pretty surely. Of course, there are constellations where one of them doesn't pass and others pass, but it's basically who of those last 4 is first
That
in
finishes
the
ahead.
finish passes at third.
All right, so let's see. 4.9 kilometers to go, and it is Andrew Walker taking the right of the peloton, going to the front, blocking Miko in the process, trying to survive there on the left side as Andrew Walker accelerates with his two riders. He's accelerating into the sprint. He might launch too soon. Let's see. Still accelerating. Miko on his
I think
left.
this is for Goga.
Goga is keeping his two riders in a good position there,
No, it's for
It's
and
Andrew
Andrew
Walker.
Walker ahead of Daniel
oh,
Miko
Ahead of
Andrew Walker.
Miko.
and
Andrew Walker
Hush.
passes.
But it means Andrew
Andrew,
Walker, Goga, and Miko passing.
Wow, that's a shocker. I mean,
yep,
guys like
Andrew.
Hush, Kingmaker, and well, Kalmik wasn't expected to pass, but guys like Hush and Kingmaker being sent out by someone as inexperienced as Andrew Walker is a shocker. I believe we still have Group D to finish.
We do have Group D still with us here, and we have 53 kilometers still to go, and 22 riders in the peloton to go as we tally results.
Timad.
Bravo is with 4. Ben Young with 3. Swagson still with 4. France 2, which is Barna, I believe, with 3. Tails with
Uh,
3.
the conjugation of results that would need to happen here yes, because they're down like something points if I recall from the place. Truly, I don't remember. Can you check
As
what do
we
they need to
as we look
pass?
at the points from Group D heading into this final stage, El Grande Frabo has 140 points. Yanu with 127. Barna 125. Swagson 86. Benyong 85. And Tails sitting with 18. Tails needs to 3-person attack and get off the front. Even
So
then, I do not think he can make
Ben
it, but it is.
and Swaxon, no, Tails is already eliminated. Ben and Swaxon will need one to pass and hope that the others, the third place, at least not two. Right.
Exactly. We do have a 1-man attack from Frabo.
I'm sorry, I was just on Discord and it's amusing. Um,
Um,
And you're closing it.
Bravo is in
so
a pretty good position here with such a strong group and one
so
rider off the front in
there
order
is
to
your
protect
edge
his spot.
is the player. I don't know who that one specifically is. Barna is the French tree guy or French two, and this
Uh,
one is
whatever French red.
Uh,
And that leaves Yanu as
Barna,
and
Barna.
French one.
French red is
yes,
Barna.
French one.
Okay, Red France is one. The French one is indeed Upper Junction 2. And speaking of the devil, there with and Ben Young, those two need to happen, and they need to make something.
Exactly.
Oop, and Muscon is dead from the breakaway, being caught, and will be sent out the back immediately as we head up the upper junction, all 304 meters of that as we head to High Street soon. Tails also losing riders off the back, as well
And the
as Swaxon and
tail
Ben
of
Young.
Upper Junction, Swaxon and Ben Young, Swaxon nothing in the front. He's pacing up the front of the peloton. He tries something near the end.
Yes, Wax no go. He knows he needs to win.
Um, of the group, then we go to 15 points. One by 250. And stop. He did 188. All right. I think it should is leading group
Yeah.
15 points. Andrew Walker 80, Hush 1 with 94 points, still a respectable score for us.
There we have another three
Cat
There.
semi-finalists.
We're going to repeat those scores there with some
now,
of the mic issues potentially.
Yeah.
Daniel Miko,
and
215. Andrew Walker, 188. Gogo, 160. Those three pass from Group C. Hush, 138 as the second best fourth placer so far. Comic in fifth with 110. And Kingmaker, 94. A well-deserved spot for Comic jumping in. And 22 Ks for the final.
can you guys
Uh,
hear me?
we
Not
can hear you a little bit, but not very well. As we see Ben Young attack with 2 on the high street climb heading into the final 20K.
trying to close.
Swagson is trying to connect.
While we are watching this,
Guys,
let's sum up for a while. Snake Mendes Joe, Leo Pompom,
respond.
Basso, Miko, Andrew Walker, and Goga. 9 of 12 semi-finalists already known. Let's see the last 3. right here in Group D. Yeah, attack of Benyong is gone again. Swaxon trying to move, and
So,
he's just lost his last rider, I think. Except
hearing
Shin.
us, maybe he is.
Yeah.
Who knows? He might consider giving me a presidential award for my dedicated pork. All right, here.
We-
And there's no less, as you said earlier, and 17 guys. This
Frabo still with 3 is pretty good for him. We are entering the last climb, the halfway bush. 40
probably
kilometers
the
left.
only one with three.
TBD, I think you need to reconnect again.
All right. You don't.
Yanu with 4 riders here, one about to die, but Swagson's still on the front, unsure what Swagson is planning exactly,
No, no,
but
he has
still,
a back, but
is that his 77 on the back of
I don't know.
uh, Yanu's group, or is that Cummings?
It's 77, I think.
That
Let's
is
check.
a fantastic play for Swagson if he has good bars here.
No, no, no,
Um,
it's not. It's not. It's
it's
at
not.
least
It is.
it's climb. We have
Oh, it is a
all
huge
with
version of Froome. Um,
6 players, all with 2 riders. I
Can you
think
guys?
both with the climber and also with the puncher.
Am I being listened to?
A little.
yes.
Fuck my life. Okay.
Understand you, but
Tails pushing
Fuck
the
this shit.
downhill.
Fuck my life.
Um,
Furthermore, can I be heard now?
yeah, now it's better.
yes.
Oh,
Uh,
swearing usually works. Yes. Okay.
we have Benyang pushing into the downhill. Swaxon tails just dropped completely, which I don't think is smart at 6 kilometers to go. It would be
Un
really smart downhill. Frabo taking the front. Now having the 2 corners we already know from previous groups. And Tails is complaining about a bug. I think he just had the train bug where everyone stops. This is annoying for him, but can be prevented. I can't remember how, but
So,
playing the game more often than
he
I do should
is
help with that.
gone off the back, and the sprint has started with Barna on the right.
We have on the left
Um,
Yanu, Swagson going, but is a bit
Clarkson.
blocked there.
Swagson train is
Bravo perfectly placed. Also Ben Young, Barna in the middle, Swagson coming through, but still
Swagson coming with speed. Swagson coming with speed. Barna, Swagson, Ben
which
Young,
which heading
Yanu, and Frabo. This will go to the
Maybe
count.
Barna.
Um,
Swagson and Benyon.
but heading to the scores of just before, it's still Frabo passing. Yanu should also be passing, and Barna also. But let's wait and see.
Swagson is out, by the way. Former
just
world champion.
by a few. What a tight
Wow.
group there.
Probably the best one we had in terms of quality.
Absolutely. A packed group from 1 through 5. Tails jumping in last moment
Yeah.
for the Mr.
If only
George.
someone had said this is clearly the center court. I wonder if someone said that. Final score. Sorry to interrupt you, Sean. Barna wins the group 225. Why is that? Oh, because of gaps probably. So Barnett wins the group 225. Idiganissimo Frabo 165 in second, 162 for Yanu, Swaxon 156 in fourth. He was 6 points from qualifying. So Frabo actually has 166. Yanu 162, Swaxon 155, Ben Young fifth 135, and Tails is in the mud, possibly 36 points, possibly 18, depending. We're waiting for a confirmation of these standings. Guys, the surprise from Swaxon. We're going to move to interviews and discuss it while we wait. All right. We are back with Sean and I think Finn now as well. And as I was saying in this group, biggest shock was shock. It's classics. It's not completely shocking, but it's surprising. Swaxon was out by 6 points, a former world champion.
And somehow not the smallest gap from third to fourth there, as Alder also misses by 5 points. So
Wow.
some tight groups tonight. Um, which it's nice to see things being competitive across the board, as they
Well,
haven't quite been in some
it can
rounds.
only stay better from this round onwards.
Yeah, it
It
was
should.
for sure fun games to watch. I gotta have to leave now, but I think with two you're fine for interviews. No
All
fun
right,
games to watch anymore. Was fun being here again.
Finn. Thank you so much for being here, man. Always good to have you.
See you guys.
See ya. That was Finn, our usual motorbike man. That today was a great help here on commentary, and I'll do a quick passing from the groups to remember everyone the standings while we wait for interviews. So I have DCB. Okay, Group A was the first one. Snake won the group 201 points. Second was Mendez 195. Third was Joseph Whiteley 165. Then Alder, as Sean had mentioned, 5 points down 160 in fourth and not passing. Then fifth, Tim 103, and sixth in the mud without Miko, Tuanu sixth with 71 points. Group B saw Pompon dominating and getting, I think, the biggest gap in score of the night, 270 points. Second place was Leo Falandri, 185. Third place was Basso, 146. Fourth place was Dan Mike and out. 123, 100 points for Ghosty in fifth, doing the average of the average player that he is. Sixth was Kopi, 71 points. Group C saw then Omiko in 215 points. Andrew Walker was second, 188. Gogo was third, 160. Hush was fourth, 138 and out. Kalmik, 110 in fifth. Kingmaker in the mud with 94 points, also out. As David Mendes said, no Miko, no pass for Tuanu. Group D says that Barno wins the group 225 points, 2 wins. Then Fravo in second, 165, 162 in third for Yarnu and qualified. Swaxon is out 6 points behind with 156. Ben Young fifth, 135, and sixth is Tails, 36 points. So, like I said, you didn't. Group A from Joe. I mean, guys, to recover it, it was Snake 201, Mendes second 195, third for Joseph Whiteley 165, fourth for Alder 160, 103 for Tim in fifth. No Miko, no pass. Tuanu is sixth in the mud with 71 points. Okay, Sean, do we have someone here?
We do. We have Basso qualifying from Group B to join us for our first interview. If we can get him
All
to the
right,
front.
let's get Basso and invite him here. Okay, sent. Basso, welcome.
Test. Okay, okay, good, good, good. Yeah,
Uh,
hello there.
Basso, it wasn't a hard night, but because especially going into that final stage, you had quite a big gap. But your plan to work for the puncher in that second race was not successful. How would you classify your evening of racing today?
I wanted to vomit at times, looking at the gameplay, but it's done. I'm happy to forget tonight, and so I'm happy to forget this night, and hope it's gonna get better in the semifinals. I mean, it wasn't a good night by any means. Like it could have been, it definitely could have been worse. Like I don't think I made any big tactical big mistake apart from apart from going for the puncher there. But
Punch.
it wasn't even a mistake. It was just that I had somebody who didn't want to win in my wheel. So and then he won because I paced obviously. But yeah, I overestimated my bars there. So that was a bit of a mistake, I admit. But still, it's it's okay. We passed to the semifinals, which is the most important thing. 12 people left. I see some very good players out, so it's not a
Yes, and
certainty
some guys
to pass in the
are private
semifinals.
margins.
Yeah, but
Some guys play
I mean,
private margins.
it's not really a surprise when you look at the game and like the gameplay it promotes. So it's yeah. Let's just. I mean, classics are a discipline where I just want to pass to the finals and just hope for a good lottery ticket. And then
Do you
yeah.
agree? Sorry to interrupt you. Would you agree with the statement that from this round onwards, it can only get better in terms of the lobby's quality?
I mean, the lobbies probably won't be bad. It's just a game that destroys the races. Also, the stages don't really look that terrible in semis and the finals. Like especially Tasmanian Devil and the second stage in the semifinals. That looks pretty nice. I can't lie. And in the final, it's pretty much all stages that were really tested in previous competitions, which usually means more exciting racing. So yeah, I'm pretty fine with the route. It's just the game that's gone from bad to worse. So it's
Well,
okay. I mean,
let's hope that it improves next year, or maybe even in 2025 with the alleged new engine confirmed by Cyanide. So not that alleged. Let us just see how new it can really be.
yep, exactly. Anyway, I think I'll
Uh,
be leaving in a while because I have to wake up early tomorrow and we have
uh,
tour. So
just
I would like to
just
get rested. Yeah.
before you go, expectations are still as many as possible in solo.
I didn't hear half of your sentence because of lag. Not sure if
I was
the others.
I was I was saying expectations are still as many goals as possible in solo.
Yeah. That's the expectation. Well, not the expectation, but the hope I have, and obviously competing for the overall, but whether it's road or the overall basically like road plus track. And yeah, I it's a cliche, but I will take it day by day and see how I feel on each day. The main goal is to pass the main three road disciplines, get to three finals, and then we should be pretty set for a good performance. It's
All
obviously
right,
very far from it, but still many weeks to go. But if I just keep performing, it will be okay. Anyway, yeah, like I said,
let's.
I will.
All right, thank you, Buster, for being here, and congratulations on yet another qualification. Let's hope you break the
Thank you,
curse this year.
thank you, and good night.
All right, have a good night. I'm being told that we're going to draw the semifinals here soon, maybe even now. Uh, yes, and all right, we're gonna watch the stream. She'll help me with this so that we can still pick it on stream. ML, and you are ready.
Obviously, we just heard from Basso there, but very interesting to see Basso as the lowest scoring rider entering the semis. But we have our first choice, Pompon going into A, with means Barna into Group B.
All right, and let's see where they end up in terms of competition. This is also going
As
to be bad for those that want to avoid good players, with also being the last one.
Absolutely. So, Ponpon has joined Daniel Miko in. Oh, sorry, Daniel Miko has joined Ponpon in Group A, with Snake then joining Barna,
Oh,
which
I
means
see
as
French armadas forming.
well. That means that the pots are decided for pot three as well, with Mendez and Frabo joining Miko's group, and Leo joining Snake, Barna, and Andrew Walker.
Wow, it's going to be a walk in the park for Leo.
Um,
Go for Group A, I assume.
Indeed. Basso, I assume, going into B, with how Amaya normally draws the pots. And
Yeah,
Yanu into A,
Group A.
meaning that thankfully we will not have France 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in the same group in B.
We're still going to
Although
have
Leo would
three
have
French
gone.
per group, so there's still a possibility of a fully French final. God help us and make that not happen. Thank you.
I,
Here are your semifinals. Sean.
yep, in Group A, we've got Pompon, Daniel Miko, Mendez, Frabo, Goga, and Yanu. In Group B, which looks to be the tougher semi by a mile, Barna, Snake, Andrew Walker, Leo, Basso, and our own lead organizer, Joe Whiteley.
It was looking good for Leo Falandri until two more names and big ones came to be added to join into what might be the group of death of these semifinals.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance there for Andrew Walker unless the lobby really gets cagey. But we did see Leo beat Basso earlier today. And it'll be interesting to see how Joe navigates that group as well, with Snake having been consistently through in top spots almost all the way through road solo so far.
Snake is actually a very fun guy, a very cool guy. So I hope them all the best, obviously. But I also hope to see Snake put up a good fight. And I don't think anyone else wanted to have the protagonism of interviews tonight. So let me quickly check the calendar to see when we will return. Calendar. Here it is. Today is the 5th. Yes, it is. Which means that for us, today was, as you know, Classics Round 3, and we have Tour Round 3 as early as tomorrow, Monday. Sunday. Um, sorry, today is Sunday. I'm drunk.
Today's
We
Sunday,
have,
yeah.
yeah, I'm drunk. Sorry. We have Monday tomorrow, solo round 3 of tour. Then we have on Tuesday scratch and elimination semifinals. We have on Wednesday the final big road disciplines round 3 with inline, and then we go back to team for the rest of the week. And also on Saturday we will have the Hammer series for the exhibition event. So I think this should be a Benyong event. It's always fun. So join, guys, if you can. And and then tour semifinal on Sunday to close the week. To point out that Thursday and Friday we have track. On Thursday with scratch semifinal and the sprint knockout, and on Friday this is as well for team boat these days. It's the ITT and TTT semis, and then tour semifinal on Sunday. As I said, Sean, are you hyped for what's coming?
I am really excited, especially for our Scratch team final. That should be the first team final to be awarded so far. So exciting to see the final there, as well as the sprint final, if I'm reading the schedule correctly. It's nice to see
Yes.
medals get awarded in mid-May before we head into the
Wait,
craziness
are
that
you
is the end
seeing
of the calendar.
Are you seeing the schedule correctly? Because I saw semifinals. Not sure if the final is on the same day. Let me
Well,
see. Scratch.
it
You're
is on
probably
a
right.
Sunday. It is.
It is on the. Welcome, Joseph Whiteley. Before we close, I would actually hoping to hear you. That was a tough experiment that almost screwed you. Talk to us about your thoughts on that day. Of this day, sorry.
I've left my insults at home for now. So,
I have not, but just tell us. Was it harder than you thought? Was it as hard as you thought? It
oh
was
no,
close.
it wasn't harder than I thought. I just think, I think I'd be very naive to not expect that type of three stages to unfold exactly how they did. So, I'm just glad that I kind of was. I don't know how you'd call it. I guess I was not naive to think that. I don't. I prefer not to speak.
If you speak, you would have to
Mendes,
warn yourself
well,
or be warned.
Mendes, Snake, and Twanu, to be fair to them, played a brilliant evening. And it's a shame for Twanu as well that he's playing like he's playing PCM 21 and 22 on PCM 23. I don't think he's fully clocked on to the fact that the game just hates people attacking. So,
Would you
I
agree
mean,
with the Mendes statement? No Miko, no pass for him.
what do you mean?
Miko, Mendes said about Twanu not passing. No Miko, no pass.
No, to be fair, I mean, jokes aside, I've seen a lot worse. I mean, they use it to replay all the time. I've seen a lot worse after that. And to be fair, Twanu's proven anyway that he's a good player. It's just his playstyle 100% does not suit PCM 23. It is so punishing on people attacking. And I'm not just saying like people who attack for the sake of attacking, because there is such thing as a dumb attack. But he did, in my opinion, quite a decent attack in Lombardia, and by the time he was caught and he had pretty much just one rider left, Aldo had four riders left. Like, I don't see the sense in it anymore.
EMEA says that the game of this year ruined Dwars 2013, and that was the only good Clubble Classic. Would you agree?
No, I agree with the first bit. I don't agree that it was that it was the only good cover classic. Yeah, I mean, when you have that type of stage played so passively, I think it sums it up. So,
Joe, your semifinals placed you in an extremely hard group. Expectations? Do you still think you can pass?
I'd rather draw the hard group in classics if I was to make it through in either tour or inline or both. I would rather have the hard group in classics. That's all I'll say. 'Cause
Ah, I can't disagree
I,
with that.
I fancy my chances in a hard group when it's a level playing field by the game standards, if that makes sense. In
Yeah.
tour and inline where you can kind of understand that the skill's going to probably make a difference, then yeah, give me the slightly easier groups. But when it's in classics, although I still would have preferred to be in Group A, when it comes to the actual classics event, on paper, it doesn't really matter what group you're in. It can be a very tough group.
All right, Joe, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on yet another World Championship semifinal. Best of luck for it, and hope to see you here for the interview that will confirm you passing, hopefully. So, best of luck for that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. So, Sean, it was a very interesting night at points, some other dull ones. How would you classify the overall of this evening from what we had the chance to see?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's nice to see the players pass who we expected to pass. That shows that there's at least a little bit of skill even amongst the gameplay. But Pompon, I think, was the surprise of the night, if nothing else. Just absolutely crushing a group of two uh, overall potential
World
winners.
champions. Yeah.
To go 270 is it's very impressive when nobody else got higher than 225.
Yeah, it was indeed quite a surprise. I mean, he did do some good earlier rounds, but he ended up crushing everyone in his wake. Uh, it should be an interesting dynamic to see how he does in the group where he is in the semifinals. I think we'll have quite a few good reasons to watch the semifinals with attention, hopefully.
I agree, and it looks like we've got some lovely stages with some opportunities at least to attack and make the difference here in the semis. So it should be um, lovely once we make it through the calendar and get back to see our semifinalists.
Right, Sean, I want to thank you so much for being here. Some really, really, really great commentating from you. And I hope to see you again further down the line on the broadcasts or even earlier down the line if you so feel to, because it's always great to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you all for hosting.
All right, and our final goodbyes. Let me just thank, as I said, Sean for being here, Finn as well. They did a superb job. Thank you to Emea for yet another directing gig that was successful. Thank you for everyone that was watching and those participating. We do this for all of you. We hope to see you back tomorrow for Tour Round 3 solo. In the meantime, you already saw the scores. If you want to check anything else regarding the World Championships, please join our server, PCM World Cup 2024 server, and keep in touch with the participants, the scores, everything. And from me, I want to say my goodbyes. I'll see you soon. Not sure if tomorrow, but soon. Hope to be here for a few more lobbies, and I hope to see you all join me because the medals are close. Some are almost arriving, and you don't want to miss on all the action. These are the world champions, and these are the championships of the world. Be sure to follow us. Get back here tomorrow to watch Tour Round 3 unfold. From me, the biggest of all dogs, have a good night to all. Keep playing Pro Cycling Manager, keep playing Tour de France. New games out June this year, so next month. The PCM World Championships are hosted by PCM UK, presented by Cyanide, sponsored by Nakong. Uh, be sure to stick around for some more broadcasts. Have a good night, all. Stay safe and take care.